And welcome Destination Uri back to the athletic grounds here this evening for this intermediate semi-final, and of course I'm a good friend Eddie Hill. Eddie, you're very welcome to Destination Uri.
Thanks a million, Damien.
And of course we're here to witness a great match between near neighbours Killeavey and Mullaghbawn. Eddie, I know from your point of view that I'm just trying to get my sound down here, Eddie, just that, you know, with Stevie coming back this year full time for Killeavey, it's been a huge thing.
It's been an absolute massive difference. But you have to look at the fact that it's young Kieran O'Hanlon actually coming through there as well has made a massive difference again to the forward line. Like at the end of the day, obviously Mullaghbawn's best defender is going to be on Stevie, but how they're going to mark Kieran O'Hanlon is going to be the key to this match, I think.
And of course, Eddie, when you talk about Kieran O'Hanlon, you have young Michael Murphy, and then of course you have Eddie English and Jared Doherty. Those lads were involved with St Paul's last year in their march to All-Ireland glory.
Yeah, without a doubt. Like Michael Murphy sort of came into his own there the last day, winning around midfield, a super player. But then again, Mullaghbawn have some great players like Paul Kelly, their corner forward. It's another, old experienced head, and he could be the key to Mullaghbawn's attack here today as well.
And of course, young Eddie English.
Eddie English, another fantastic player. I would say Gordy McGuinness will pick Eddie English up there. Gordon has a wee bit of experience. Keelan Moan coming in there for Killeavey. He might actually go to English with Gordon McGuinness going to Paul Kelly. But again, it'll just be interesting match-ups all over the field.
But Eddie, it's great here that these matches are being streamed live. And folks, if you're watching in, no matter what part of the world, whether it's today, tomorrow, or tonight, let us have your comments. Put them to the bottom of the screen, and let's see what you're talking about, what you're thinking, where you are, and just to say hello to people back home. Eddie, it's a wonderful concept.
It's definitely a wonderful concept. Like Killeavey, like many other clubs around the country, have lost a lot of guys out to Australia, out to America, out to the whole lot. Like, you have the likes of James Waters, young McNulty and all out in Australia, and I'm sure they'll listen in once they get the chance.
No question about it. And of course the teams are getting prepared, because about 11 minutes to throw in, Eddie. I wonder when will the lights be switched on here in the athletic grounds this evening?
Well, if it's anything like last week, probably around half time they'll put half of them on, and then just before the beginning of the second half they might finish off and put them all on. But it's one of those strange places where you can get dark very, very quick.
And of course, Eddie, Killeavey they were involved in a great hurling match just before.
Yeah, I was just in at the very end of it. Nobody gave us much of a chance, and when I walked in and seen the score 3-8 to 2-8, I sort of just couldn't believe it myself, because all intents and purposes people were saying Killeavey were going to get hammered. But for a club like Killeavey to keep hurling alive in South Armagh, along with the likes of Creeveru and that, but to have underage guys, under 16, contesting county finals, it's great for the future of Killeavey.
There's no doubt about that, Eddie. And of course the match, there was Derrynoose won by a goal. I think it was maybe 3-8 to 2-8 in the final of the hurling. So well done to Derrynoose. A great lift for them, I suppose. Unfortunately hard luck for Killeavey, but
that's it. You can't win them all, but probably at the start of the year, if we win this here, we're going to be in two good county finals, the intermediate final and the minor final. So that's something to be proud of in Killeavey. So hopefully this result will go our way today, and that'll leave it. We've been a fairly good year.
No question about that. And of course you're very welcome, Destination News, you're very welcome here to the Morgan Athletic Grounds in Armagh this evening. We don't have the sun issue that we thought we might have. We had that last Sunday. And of course don't forget the match tomorrow. Cork Crumpton Sarsfield's going live around the world at 3:45 tomorrow afternoon as well, Eddie. The replay,
yeah, might get out till it. I'll play a wee bit of golf in the morning and I might get out to that. By all accounts and purposes, Crumpton were well ahead and Sarsfields were lucky to come back, and then Crumpton was lucky to get a draw at the end of it, by all accounts. But look, at Sarsfields and Crumpton is neither of the two teams will be given an inch there, and it's going to be very, very hard to call.
Going to be hard. Well, I call it. I'll go for Crumpton by a couple of points. But
yeah, well, I've seen Sarsfields in action, and look, it's all on the day. Championship football's all on the day. Like, people, even at this match, people tipping Killeavey to run away with it. I don't see it like that. I think it's going to be a battle all over the field, and it's going to go down to the wire here today.
And of course, when you look at the team, Eddie, the team has gone under the ticker bar there. Like, it's definitely a strong old team, and we look out, we see the physio getting things sorted out over there. Yeah, but you can see the team along the bottom here.
Yeah, look, it's some team, like, you know what I mean. Particularly from Killeavey's point of view, that middle quartet of James Donnelly, Michael Murphy, James Duffy, and Stephen Malone. Them boys have actually been playing some stuff. But then you've Conor King coming in there around the middle. I honestly think Killeavey's midfield has been as strong as it is for years. But then again, you look over there and you've Garrett Smith, Carl Quinn, O'Brien, and that young McVerry there playing for Mullaghbawn. They're all good, I know young Sean Hart, I think he's out of it on the subs. I don't think he's going to be making an appearance today. But by all accounts and players, he's a fairly decent player too. And I think Mullaghbawn will be missing him coming off the bench,
And of course, substitutes could be very, very critical coming off the bench here.
Without a doubt. Killeavey again have a decent batch. We have young Remy Taggart there. Well, I say young, Remy being in his late 20s, Darren O'Hanlon. Those boys are experienced players, old heads. Jared Bourne, like, Killeavey have a bench now when we hadn't benches in the past, and I think we could actually win the match from the bench today,
And of course, yes, and like, again, as we said earlier on, there's a sprinkling of youth between the two teams and experience, and that's brilliant, because it brings the young fellas on, Eddie.
It has to, like, to be honest, James Duffy's our oldest player on the field, and you just wouldn't be without him. Shortly, like Stephen McDonald, number 14, like, that guy's done it all. Player of the Year, All-Ireland medals, Ulster medals. He's going to be the leader of this team, and to bring young lads like Keelan Traynor, Keelan O'Hanlon right around him, that's the bonus Killeavey have. Maybe that's where we'll beat Mullaghbawn today,
And just when we were talking about that, I'm just looking over and I see that the Armagh ladies, there's posters for the Armagh ladies. They take on Waterford in the All-Ireland Intermediate Final on the 7th of October at 2 o'clock in Crow Park, Eddie. I know there was a wee bit of talk about the match being pushed on, but the girls have got over that, and now it gives them great hope for the 7th of October.
Without a doubt, like if you look at it, Armagh ladies football has come on leaps and bounds over the last few years. We've contested an All-Ireland final before. To be back in it again is a great achievement, and hopefully the girls will go well.
No question about that, and we wish them the very best. And of course, I think the 23rd, not to be missed on the Sunday Sports Show, some of the Armagh girls are going to be in with me on the Sunday Sports Show between 7 and 8 on the 23rd. And of course then tomorrow night the Sunday Sports Show will be live with Simon and myself, and James Doyle, the legendary handballer, one wall handballer, will be our guest tomorrow evening, Eddie, and that man has a story and a half to tell.
I would say so, yeah. Handball is probably forgotten, but again you'll find the old handball court dotted around the country, and wish it was actually more popular in other clubs, but fantastic achievement for anybody to be winning any medals at all at any level.
No question, and James Doyle, I think he's won about 27 All-Ireland titles. He's represented Ireland 6 times, so his story not to be missed tomorrow evening between 7 and 8 on the Sunday Sports Show, Eddie. So worth tuning into.
Definitely so.
And of course we have to thank Eddie for coming in here. Late call this evening. Eddie's coming in. Again, Eddie, you're creating a little bit of history here for yourself. This is your first time live going around the world on Destination Uri. As I say, pole to pole, post to post, satellite to satellite, and all the way back Claremont.
It's the first time, and it might just be the last. We'll see how the day goes.
I think
done with first.
I think, Eddie, nobody, you'll take to this. There's no question about that. We can see there now we've got our names up on the old screen here. So Eddie and myself will be your voice of the game this evening. And of course, Eddie, we're looking forward to a cracking game.
I really think this is going to be a cracking game. People are actually tipping this to be the final. It's hard to know. I haven't heard the other result coming in yet, but I think St Peter's was favourites to win that. But hopefully the other result will come in now shortly. We'll know where we are.
And of course, we have to say hello to. I have to say hello to the local hacks that just come in through the door there. Gareth and Stevie have arrived, so they're here anyway. Just had to find out, as usual, how did Newry Town do the day? Newry City 0-0, Warren Point and Newry City 0-0 this afternoon, and hopefully Newry City will be continuing. But more to that story, and we'll little follow up maybe on it tomorrow evening on the Sunday Sports Show. No question about that. Stevie Malone's here, Gareth McCullough's here, they're getting ready, and of course, Eddie, it's important that Destination Uri covers all sports, and that's what we're doing.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And as a man myself, I've been down and watched Newry Town several times over the years. I've been working there with Robbie Casey as well, who played for Newry, played for Portadown, and it's not nice to see any team at any level struggling. So hopefully Newry Town will be able to continue in the current form, or Newry City as they're now called, and get things together and push on,
No doubt, and we see the captains now, they're over in the middle taking the toss, and Jimmy McKee, our referee, a very experienced official here in Armagh.
Yeah, well, I would actually be fairly friendly with Jimmy McKee, and I think he's as good a referee that's in the county. Jimmy, he'll be the first to admit he makes the odd mistake, but I'd like to see Jimmy referee in every match. I think he's an excellent referee, in all honesty.
Well, I have to agree with you, Eddie. I think Jimmy's a superb referee, and very good, and a very, very experienced referee. So again, we wish the officials, hopefully, that they get it. Don't have to get it right all the time, but a good game.
A referee's never going to get it right all the time. I'd be the first to admit that. But like Jimmy's there, Jimmy's experienced. He's a good linesman there in Jared Devlin. A few experienced umpires there. I see Ollie Hurty in that in action as well. So, but I actually don't expect any of the teams to be up to anything off the ball. I think we'll have a game of football here today.
And of course, Eddie, this game, this championship is sponsored by Simply Fruit from Armagh. So the Simply Fruit Intermediate Championship semi-final is about to go live in about 3 minutes on Destination Uri.
Simply Fruit. It's good to have sponsorship at any level now. Just looking over here at Damien, we're two guys that could actually do with eating a wee bit more fruit. So if they want to throw us in a few apples, we'll gladly munch on them for them.
Well, I would probably suggest that you're probably right on that. So we sort of think, Eddie, that the teams are getting ready now, so we'll probably play the national anthem, I would imagine.
Jimmy's just coming over now to check at the last minute,
so we're just looking out here. The two teams are in their huddle. Eddie, there was none of that when we were playing football. Did you ever get into the huddle?
Well, if I get into the huddle, there was generally a few boys around me trying to pull me out. It could have been a bit of a row or something like that, but no, none of these sort of niceties before the match. The odd time maybe up at St Coleman's or something, we used to stand together, but generally not in every match,
So the match, the national anthem, 30 seconds for the national anthem, but I think maybe it might go early here, Eddie. But there's the Killeavey boys. We have a late substitution in for Killeavey. We didn't know that now. Number 19.
Number 19, Keelan Downey. Keelan Downey could actually be coming on to mark Eddie English or Paul Kelly.
And of course, we just noticed there, as the teams were lining up, there was a change, Eddie, there. Young Keelan Downey is in. We're not sure who he's in for now.
Keelan Downey's in. I watched the full back line's okay. It looks as if Keelan's moved to the half back line. I actually think it's Collybourne. I think he's made the substitution for Collybourne there, number 5.
So Keelan Downey is in for
Collybourne, number 5.
Destination.com Newry. Tonight's game may be seen on the internet anywhere in the world. It's been sent out live and on Monday can be viewed.
So there we go.
Anyone wishing to contact people
Jimmy to start it now.
In order to post comments or to send greetings is very welcome to do so. DestinationNewry.com is the web address.
There we go. The game is on. So Sean has just said that Destination Newry is streaming live. So Mullaghbawn on the attack. Ball pushed away to the far side. Ball's coming back in there to number 9, Carl Quinn. Carl Quinn, experienced player. Ball pushed down, broke out. But quick ball into the full forward line. Mullaghbawn have the first chance, an opportunity here, shooting for a first point off the afternoon. That looks to be Eddie English.
Yeah, it looks to be streaming through there. Yeah, Paul Kelly's there, been picked up by Gordy McGuinness, and Eddie English is obviously picked up by young Keelan Moan. Keelan probably the least experienced in the back, so we might see a change there shortly. But you know, it's not important to score in the first minute; it's the score at the end of the day that counts.
So anyway, the first score of the afternoon goes to Mullaghbawn. Mullaghbawn are ahead by 1 point early in the game within the first minute. So you're very welcome to Destination Newry here, and post your comments on the bottom of the screen and let us know where you are, what you think, and if you want to say hello to anybody. The ball's coming out in the middle of the field, and there's a great catch, but the referee says there was a foul. So the big man from Killeavey, I think that's Big James Duffy.
Big James Duffy's right. Yeah, he's a massive guy at the middle of the field. Like, but don't underestimate James Donnelly and Michael Murphy helping him out around the middle there.
Ball's pushed long towards the full forward. Ball's broken down, but out comes the corner back from Mullaghbawn, away over on the far side, coming out with the ball. Bit of a tackle over on the far side there, so the ball spilled out, and that's the first line ball over on the far side, and it's for Killeavey.
Yeah, we see Stephen McDonald now going. It's always just
something happened. The referee has spotted something. There must have been a little pull. So Jimmy has spotted a pull, so this is going to be a whole lot handier for Stevie here now.
Yeah, it was actually a good job he spotted something, because the ball just went a wee bit wayward there, but we'd expect Stevie just to clip this over, you know.
So we have to also say hello to Mary Campbell from Killeavey direction. I would always refer to her as Mary from Killeavey. So if Mary's listening in, or any of her friends are listening in this evening, tell Mary we said hello. So we have Stevie from Killeavey this time getting ready to have a handy enough shot here, because it's just outside the corner of the D there, Eddie.
It is just outside the corner now. If Stevie slots this over, it could be a good omen. You know, he likes to get off to an early start and an early score, so hopefully he will.
So we wait on Stevie to take a shot. He strikes it, and he strikes it over the bar.
Over the bar, one each.
So a good shot there from Stevie from Killeavey, his first score of the afternoon.
Yeah, an important one now. We're only 2 minutes gone and we're all square, which is I imagine the game's going to be fairly tight throughout.
And of course, you want to put your comments in the bottom of your screen there, and we'll call them out as it happens this afternoon on Destination Newry here in the athletic grounds. And we have to thank all our technical staff.
Yeah, we have a man-to-man marking job here now. Kieran McKinney has come out on young Stephen Malone, with Stephen McDonald been man-marked.
Ball spilled out, picked up there by Patrick Hanaway. Hanaway puts it back to Duffy. Duffy pushes it inside and goes forward. An opportunity for Killeavey to get the go-ahead score. Stevie strikes this one. He goes for goal.
What a goal! 25 yards straight in over the keeper's head. That's one of the best goals you'll ever see in the athletic grounds.
Well, I tell you what, the press box here is in total amazement with that shot. Went over the top of the head of young Mark McKinney.
I don't think.
Okay, so we don't want to be sort of cracking down the mics here, but when a goal like that goes in there, it's very hard to contain oneself. The ball comes out in the middle.
Particularly from a Killeavey man's point of view.
Well, the ball's broke out in the far side. Tackles coming in. 2 or 3 tackles picked up here. Pushed long in towards McDonald. McDonald, well, he was holding there, and the full back come out. Pushed the ball back. Mullaghbawn build from the rear guard. Out to coming away on the far side. So, ball comes out towards the east stand. Spin back to the corner back. Hollywood. And the referee says he overcarried. The score, 1 goal and 1 point to 1 point. A super strike by Stevie from Killeavey. I don't know. Well, I suppose when we look at that, Eddie, he probably was going for the goal.
I think he was going for the goal, and I don't think anybody would have been surprised. The only person surprised was maybe Mark McKinney. You know, it just flew in past his head, and there was probably very little he could have done about it, in all honesty.
It's just one of them ones that you sort of hate. It just scrapes onto the crossbar between the fingernails and the crossbar.
Yeah.
So
I don't think he was expecting the shot, and Stevie just went for it.
Well, we were definitely weren't expecting it here, but Killeavey have another chance about 44 metres out to the corner towards the 45. So Stevie's going to be launching this one, probably drop it in on the edge of the square. It's coming in, it's dropping down. That's a great catch down there. An opportunity for Killeavey, and that's a super strike there.
Fine score by young Keelan.
So another super strike there from young, is that young Keelan? No,
Keelan Trainer.
Keelan Trainer. Yes, another one of the young players from Killeavey.
Yeah, that lad's only about 19. You know, him and young O'Hanlon. O'Hanlon was in the minors this year. I think Keelan is only out of them. You know, a fantastic prospect.
And I think also young Keelan Trainer, he was the first college's all-star footballer for St. Paul's there when they went into the colleges. So well done to Keelan Trainer's first point of the afternoon. So Eddie, a good start from the Killeavey point of view.
Definitely a good start. You know, it's putting Mullaghbawn on the back foot fairly earlier on, but I think it's one of those
long way to go. The ball's dropping out into the middle of the field. Referee says a little bit of a push there, so Mullaghbawn have a free, and the ball's picked up there by Carl Quinn. Carl Quinn launches it away up towards the full forward line. Mullaghbawn, the ball's offloaded. An opportunity for Mullaghbawn. If this ball goes in over the top, Eddie, this is definitely a goal. It comes inside. We're going to have another goal here. Yes, the ball is. Daisy cut it into the back of the net, and the ball.
That's Paul Kelly. That's Paul Kelly. I actually said at the start of the match, he's a very, very good, experienced corner forward, and look, he's not going to miss from there.
And he just done what very experienced player do. He just kept the ball low and just slipped it under the keeper.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So anyway, we just have to keep our levels right here. I'm getting a wee bit excited sometimes, but the game goes on at 1-2 to 1-1.
If you don't get excited at football matches, there's no point in getting excited about anything, you know.
Well, we have the first kick out, or the second kick out here by Sean O'Hanlon. Sean launches the ball long. It's coming down towards the middle. Broke down, but Mullaghbawn spill out, knocks 2 or 3 men out of his road with the ball. The referee says overcarried again. A bit hard on the Mullaghbawn man, but Killeavey's going to take a quick. Referee has indicated take it from the wrong spot, so the ball's going to be hopped up in the air. Jimmy's taking no nonsense here.
Jimmy never takes any nonsense, and in fairness to Jimmy, if you look at, he always sort of lays down his authority fairly quick, and then the game will actually start to open up a wee bit later on in the match, you know.
So Killeavey on the attack here. The ball's pushed in towards Trainer. Trainer comes out, gathers the ball up, goes the long way around. Well, he nearly overcarried that one, but he gets away with it. Puts into Stevie McDonald. Stevie McDonald hits a long ball. The ball's dropping down. The keeper comes out, and that's a super point. That is a super point there.
I think Jimmy's actually given a free out.
No, he's given the point because you can once the ball's kicked, you can run into the square, so the point stands. So that's another one.
Actually, Jimmy was just waving there that he gave a free out, and maybe he was blowing for a free in, and once the score happened, I thought I heard a whistle just before it went over the bar.
Well, it went over the bar, definitely went over the bar. So that's another point for Killeavey, 1-3 to 1-1. I'm not sure who scored that point there, but
Stevie McDonald.
Oh, that's right. So Stevie kicked the free. What am I talking about? But then, of course, you can't be in the square. Eddie, that's correct. Is right. But anyway, the game goes on here. Referee says there is a little free there. So Mullaghbawn pushing the ball up the field. That man coming in, number 29, come in there for Mullaghbawn. Well, he takes a lot of steps, bounces off 1 or 2 men. The ball spills out, picked up on the ground by
James Donnelly.
Out comes James, big James Donnelly. Launches the long ball down towards the forward line, but Mullaghbawn have a sweeper operating in front of them. The ball goes long down towards a spur Mullaghbawn man away over on the far side. Spins round one way, tackles coming in left, right, over the far side. The line ball, the referee has indicated that's a line ball. The linesman has indicated that's a line ball, so it's definitely a line ball for Killeavey.
It is, yeah. I think it was fairly good defence to just bottle them up there and give them nowhere to go. So back on the attack here with Stevie Malone.
Malone pushed the ball inside. This is going to go long. Well, I said that, and nearly the referee has indicated the overcarried again. Jimmy is very consistent on this here this evening.
Yeah, Jimmy is a consistent referee, there's no doubt about it, you know, and as I said, he's going to put down his authority and hopefully it'll start opening up later.
Ball's dropping in. If this had to come out the other way, but Mullaghbawn, they spill the ball spills out on the far side, the foot comes in. The referee says that's a free, you can't put the foot in, something like that, so it's a free for Killeavey on their own 21 metre line. The ball was hanging there. That was a recipe for disaster. But
it was a real suicide pass there.
And another high ball, looping pass comes in, spills out. Stevie McDonald comes out, gathers the ball up. Stevie looks for Trainer, but he goes far across to the far side. But Mullaghbawn have a sweeper, but out comes O'Hanlon. Is that O'Hanlon?
That is Kieran O'Hanlon, yep.
Kieran launches the ball out into the middle, back into Trainer. Trainer, when he gets away, that could have been left ball, but he checks one way. That's great work there by young Trainer. Ball broken down. Another opportunity by the centre 3/4 for Killeavey. The ball will
Stevie Malone.
Yeah, big Stevie put that one over the bar.
Yeah, Steve Malone's actually a fantastic player. He's just back again this year from university, and he's proven he's worth definitely to Killeavey. But at the minute, I'm very, very impressed with young Trainer. He's all over his marker there in the Mullaghbawn defence.
And of course, when we talk about Steve Malone, we're not talking about Steve, the man in the press box here. We're talking about Stevie, the man from Killeavey that's playing football. Stevie saying, I wish it wasn't me out there, but Stevie's sitting in here taking notes. Ball's broke out into the middle. Killeavey again gather the ball up, this time by Hanaway. Hanaway spills the ball out to big Michael Murphy, young Michael Murphy, back to Hanaway. Hanaway left, foots the ball away down into the corner. Little bit of a push there, but up gets the Killeavey man, offloads the pass on the far side. A little dinky went over the top, but well, Killeavey still have the ball. Hanaway, he pushes it back. McDonald goes one way, he goes the other. He puts a lovely pass into Trainer. Trainer gets the ball, an opportunity here. There's a man on the outside, but Trainer does the right thing and punches the ball over the bar. Superb.
Superb. Like, he could have went for a goal there, used his head over the bar and just extended the scoreline another wee bit.
1-4 to 1 point here this evening down in the Morgan Athletic Grounds. And don't forget, if you want to post a wee comment, put your comments in the bottom of the box there, and we'll let you know where you're coming from, what part of the world you're in, and all that sort of stuff. So the score 1-5 to 1-1 here, and we're looking down to see how many minutes gone. We have 11 minutes gone. The ball pushed out towards the middle. Great catch there by the Mullaghbawn midfielder. Carl Quinn, super player. Well, there's a man all over the top of the Mullaghbawn man there. That's definitely a free. Getting it in quick. An opportunity here. Eddie English gets the ball. He's on his favourite foot. Left footed. Ball goes in. And it's a left. It's gone wide. That was an opportunity there, Eddie.
Without a doubt, it was an opportunity. Very, very quick free again by Paul Kelly, picking out English, and English just squeezing it wide.
Well, it was hard luck there from Eddie English, but Mullaghbawn have got to take them, Eddie. There's no question about that.
From a Killeavey point of view at this stage, it looks as if we have a wee bit more for them, and Mullaghbawn do need to be putting these away if they're going to stay in touch at the moment.
Well, there's no doubt. So anyway, we look round and we wait for O'Hanlon from Killeavey to kick the ball long. The lights starting to build here in the athletic grounds. The top row of lights is on, but the ball's coming down. It's dropping down. Murphy get pushed. The referee spotted that Murphy was pushed. Ball's in quick to the first, into the forwards. First time O'Hanlon. He spins past his man. He's going forward. Kieran O'Hanlon. He's going to pull the trigger here, and a great block down. But Trainer gets in.
Yes,
and
another goal
the
for
ball.
Killeavey. A fantastic goal. Young O'Hanlon straight in there and back off the keeper, and Trainer's limping after that. Hopefully he'll run that off.
Well, again, O'Hanlon made that one, but Trainer finished it to the back of the net. 1-2 for Trainer, so a good account for Caelan Trainer.
Yeah, as I said at the start, he's a very good player, very, very good prospect, and he's definitely shown his worth out there at the minute.
Well, we wait for McKinley to put the ball out. McKinley pushes it out into the middle. Broken down, ball spills out. Hanaway's gone after. Will he sock it along? He leaves it for Stevie. Stevie pushes it outside. Downey has it. Downey looks round. Well, Downey run into trouble. The referee says he threw that ball away. So Mullaghbawn from the edge of their own D pushes the ball out here to one of the subs. The man wearing number 29. Well, again, Eddie English worked off his man there, so the ball spills out. 2-3 men went for it, but they're down. Up to get. Out comes Killeavey. There was a little hit after the ball was pushed away, but Killeavey gets on with the game. There's a high sort of a pass for Stevie. Hanaway gets the ball, trying to bring Stevie maybe too much in. Quinn's underneath us here, spins round, pushes it back all the way back. Well, that's not Quinn, that's Eamon Quinn. Yes, it is Eamon Quinn wearing number 29. So Killeavey defend while the ball's pushed up in the air by Grant. Grant launched the high ball away over in the far corner. The Mullaghbawn man is all surrounded there by 2 or 3 Killeavey men, and that was great defensive work there by Conor Quinn.
Yeah, Conor Quinn seems to have just moved on to Paul Kelly in the last minute or two. Conor's a wee bit more pace, and no, he's not. It's actually back to Gordy McGuinness, but Paul Kelly's definitely the danger man in the Mullaghbawn attack.
So Mullaghbawn defend with Quinn. Quinn picks that one from the ankles, going hand to toe up the middle of the field, offloads the pass. This is going to go long. Well, it goes long along the ground. Picked up by English, goes one way, goes the other, tries to get the score in. Great defensive work, great reading there. So a free out for Killeavey, and again, Eddie, good defensive work there by Killeavey.
Great defensive work. That was Paul Kelly on the attack that time, and Gordy just got his hand in and done enough.
And Trainer comes out, offloads the pass back into big Michael Murphy. Big Michael Murphy gets past his marker. He's going on. Trainer's on the inside. He pushes it down to McDonald. McDonald's looking for the return. Murphy just drives through. There's another goal coming on here if he hits this one. Superb strike there by Michael Murphy.
3 goals in 15 minutes. You know what I mean? This game should actually be dead and buried at this stage.
Well, that was a superb strike there by Michael Murphy, and I know when he's heading towards the goals on his mind.
He has only one thing in his mind. He showed that there in the quarter-finals where he went straight through and missed the first one and buried the second, but another fantastic goal.
Well, a super strike there by young Michael Murphy. Picked up in All-Ireland earlier on in the year, and now he scored a goal in the intermediate semi-final. One of the very young players here on show this evening. Ball's pushed away along the far sideline. Well, the wee Mullaghbawn man comes over. Eddie English trying to pick them up. They spill the ball out. Mullaghbawn gather the ball. They're driving forward. The referee has indicated that that's a pull. So Mullaghbawn get the quick ball inside. An opportunity for Mullaghbawn to get a score on the board. Ball's pushed out all the way in, coming in over the top. The keeper comes out, but it's gone to the right and wide.
Another wide from Mullaghbawn. And just at this stage, with Killeavey winning by 10 points, Mullaghbawn really cannot afford to have any wides at all.
3-5 to 1-1, and we have 15 minutes gone in the first half.
Yeah.
And we have a wide count here, just 2 wides for Mullaghbawn and 2 for Killeavey. None for Killeavey, so there we go at the minute. So that's the way the game's panning out here at the minute in the athletic grounds. The lights are starting to light up. We thought we had the sun coming in over the top of the houses, but it's the lights that's come on, Eddie.
Yeah, that's it. It will actually get fairly dark fairly quick here, as I said earlier, and you really need the lights on at this stage.
So Hollywood comes out. O'Hanlon kicks the ball out. The ball's dropping down. Quinn goes up. Donnelly goes up. Ball spills out. Pushed into the forwards. English comes out, goes one way, goes the other. Well, that's a foul. The referee has indicated that that's a foul. So Mullaghbawn have a chance to get one on the board after that last great goal there. So an opportunity now for Mullaghbawn to get a score on the board.
Yeah, Mullaghbawn there, 42 metres out. This should really be going over. I don't know what Mullaghbawn's going to do in the defence, because every time Killeavey get forward, they're opening them up, and they really need to be keeping in touch.
Well, of course, wherever you are in the world, let us know. We have to say hello to Shane Garvey in Kingston, Jamaica. The ball goes up in the air, it's dropping down, and it's pulled to the right. And Eddie, them balls have to go over the bar.
And particularly if you're 10 points down after 15 minutes, you need to be putting them over the bar.
So we have to say hello to all our friends over in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. We have Shane Garvey from the Sleigh. He's just gone back to Jamaica, and Shane is watching the game. So Shane, hello from Armagh. And Tony, yes, the match is on tomorrow. Carcrup and Sarsfield's 3:45 on Destination Uri. We have a substitute coming in here. We have the man coming in who was wearing number 4 for Mullaghbawn.
David Hollywood.
David Hollywood is coming into the game. So David Hollywood is coming into the game for Mullaghbawn. So there is a change early in the game.
So he's going straight on to young trainer there, and in all honesty, young trainer is calling the Mullaghbawn defence all sorts of problems down there.
So young Lavell's off, and young thing is back on again, so we wait on the goalkeeper to kick the ball out. This time David Hollywood is in the game for Mullaghbawn. The ball's gone out to the far side, broken down. Mullaghbawn, well, the ball spills out. That was a chance. Killeavey playing nice tidy football, puts a Holy Mary Mother of God ball up in the air. She's coming down underneath us. I nearly caught that myself, Eddie, but Hollywood goes one way.
Hannaway. Well held.
Hannaway, oops, he nearly forgot it there. He bounces it once or twice, left footed, sweeps the ball away over to the far side. O'Hanlon spins round his man. He's surrounded by 2 Mullaghbawn members. He still has the ball away from the far side, offloads the pass, calls it back, but he didn't get it this time. It goes back to the centre 3/4, pushed over. So there's an overlap here for Killeavey. The ball spills out. The big man, well, he tried to get it up once, he tried to get it up twice, and he got a little bit of a push over for his trouble, and he's fouled his man. You want to know why he didn't get his free there, big James Duffy, but ball's been given away. Well, there's a big hit there. There's a man down there. That's a big hit.
Big hit.
So the ball's referee has indicated that that's a foul. So we have a man injured down here.
It was just pure commitment by the 2 players, and unfortunately Stephen Malone came out a wee bit worse. But hopefully the lad will be okay.
So Stevie's down injured, and of course don't forget to put your comments in, no matter where they are. We like to have them up here. So great goal there, says Shane Garvey. No doubt, super goal. So there's a bit of an injury here. They get the water on, and so they talk to a couple of physios and they talk to a couple of managers and they try to sort out what's going wrong and what's going right, Eddie.
Yeah, it's this break could actually suit Mullaghbawn more so than Killeavey. Mullaghbawn definitely need to get something sorted out the defence line. That they're leaking goals. Looks as if they're going to leak a goal every time Killeavey attacks. Although we have a few words going on here down the Killeavey defence as well, so there's instructions going on there. So the next few minutes should be interesting.
And of course, keep your comments coming in. Let us know where you are this afternoon. David Kelly says, great coverage. Thanks, David. It's great to have you on board. And Ronan Waters says, can I get a big birthday shout out to Sean McGeaney, Killeavey here, watching in at the minute? Well, of course you can, Ronan. And Sean, happy birthday. Shane says, thanks, Damien. So Jimmy says BB. So there we go. Ryan Hamill, great job, folks, watching from Madrid. Hope the game's keeping going. So the game is going on here underneath us. And so that's probably Ryan from up there in... well, the game goes on. Quinn, he goes the long way around. He tries to go past trainer. Referee says that's a foul. So Mullaghbawn try to push the ball towards the forwards. Spins out. Great bit of defensive work there by the Killeavey man, but the foot comes in well. The Killeavey man was sort of kneeing the ball around. You can't do that. And I see Mickey O'Neill's not happy with that decision, but the referee got that one spot on.
Yeah, from our point of view, he definitely. Now, in fairness, Gordon McGuinness actually done great work there because he had to hold the ball up. If he didn't, young Paul Kelly was gone, and definitely a score from Mullaghbawn.
Well, there's another big hit over there, so this could be the first booking by James Duffy. James Duffy could be getting maybe a yellow card for his trouble there.
He could, or just a tongue. In fairness, Jimmy McKee hasn't made a mistake here yet today.
And of course, Mullaghbawn need to score here because they're down 1-1 to 3-5, and we have almost 21 minutes gone. That's a yellow card for James Duffy, Eddie.
Yeah, in fairness, Big James isn't a dirty player, but he does tend to pick up an odd silly yellow card, but definitely a good player to have in your team.
So we wait on Mullaghbawn to see can they get a score on the board here. Ball's up in the air and it's
another wide. Mullaghbawn are really kicking themselves out of the game at this stage.
4 wides from Mullaghbawn. I have to thank young Shane here from keeping us right here. 4-0, 4 wides to 0. So the game goes on here. Is the match on tomorrow? Yes, let us know where you're sitting in the world tonight, folks. If you're in Madrid, we cover it from Timbuktu to Tullysarn, from Crossmaglen to Cookstown here on Destination Uri. No, there's not nowhere we can't get in anywhere around the world. We wait on the goalkeeper from Killeavey to launch the ball down the field. The ball comes down towards the middle. Again, broken down while it's still on the ground. Picked up, a lovely pick up on the far side. Killeavey look very, very sharp here. The referees indicate that's a free, so Killeavey want to get on quick here with this game. The ball goes down towards O'Hanlon. O'Hanlon comes out, offloads the pass. Way over the far side. The ball comes inside to the other wing forward. Keeper catches this one. Out comes McKinley. McKinley takes the long route. He goes before kill, and the referee says that's a free out. And the Killeavey man took the shot, but the ball came out, so the referee's moving the ball up the field.
Yeah, he's probably in the right. You know, the keeper was just pulled back a wee bit there. So definitely the right decision.
Well, as we look down here, Mullaghbawn have a chance from the edge of the D. Launches the ball down the middle of the field. Ball comes in, great catch here. Mullaghbawn look up. Where's the runners? The runners are coming out on the far side. Doherty's on the overlap. The ball goes away to the far corner. An opportunity here, Eddie. Back to Doherty. Looks round.
This is English on the ball now.
English pushes in now. An opportunity for Mullaghbawn, but great defensive work. The Killeavey men are keeping about. Eddie puts this on his favourite left foot.
Another wide.
That's 5 wide.
Another wide. You know, and this is a period where actually Mullaghbawn is dominating now this last 5-7 minutes or so, and they need to be getting those scores on the board if they're going to make any inroad to this Killeavey lead.
Well, that's for sure. So the game goes on here. We're down towards the 23 minutes of the first half. Killeavey 3-5-1-1. Great goal by Stephen McDonald. A great goal there by Caelan Downey. Well, he came in after great work by Kieran O'Hanlon, and big Michael Murphy put the 3 goals for Killeavey. And then, of course, young Paul Kelly, you did talk about him, Eddie, scored the goal for Mullaghbawn.
Yeah, Paul would like the word young in front of his name. You know, Paul's, like himself, he's probably the wrong age of 30 now, but he's definitely Mullaghbawn's most experienced forward, and he's the one causing Killeavey problems at the back.
So we wait for the keeper, Sean O'Hanlon.
And I'm after looking there. Killeavey have actually changed. Young Moan has gone on Kelly, and Gordy McGuinness is now picking up English.
And of course, Mullaghbawn on the attack. Well, that's a free. The Killeavey man pulled the Mullaghbawn man down over on the far side, so it's a free. And this time, Mullaghbawn have another handy enough chance. But Eddie, they've taken 2 or 3 chances and they've pushed them to the right and to the left.
Yeah, you know, and their 1-1 seems to have, you know, at this stage seems to have come out of the blue, because they haven't added it despite the 4 or 5 chances they have, and as I say, they're just kicking themselves out of this game.
Well, we have Joseph. He's down there in Kerry, so ex-Armagh man watching game in the Kingdom. Joseph, you can never be an ex-Armagh man. Once you're an Armagh man, you're an Armagh man forever and a day. So it's great to have you listening in down in the Kingdom. Pass the word round the Kingdom that Destination Uri is covering the Armagh Championship here this evening in the athletic grounds. And I have to say that Sinead's watching in Forkhill, enjoying the coverage. Come on, Killeavey. Connor McNulty and Barry O'Hara, hello from the boys in Oz. Wish we were there, but the best of luck to the lads. Great start. So there we have it. We have them in Australia, we have them in Forkhill, Eddie, and we're in the athletic grounds, and the ball is up, and this time it's gone over the bar.
9 in it.
So there's 9 in it, and that's a good score from the young Mullaghbawn man.
Yeah, it definitely is. You know, they need to be coming in with this. They need to be hitting another 2 or 3 points before half time if they're to give themselves any chance here in the second half.
Well, I don't want to put the comeuppance on them, but Kilcruppen were winning by 5 points last week, Eddie, and at half time looking good, and they were dead lucky to get a draw out of the match, so yeah, it's all to play for.
Kilcruppen don't have Steve McDonald, Keelan Thrainin and Kieran O'Hanlon in the forward line. That's the big difference.
Well, good man, Eddie. I could come back at that one, but we'll wait for O'Hanlon to kick this one out.
Yeah, we see Collie Burns down here doing a vigorous warm-up for Killeavey, so we could have a change in the Killeavey defence shortly.
And that was great work there by the very determined Mullaghbawn wing back over on the far side there, getting a lot of attention for coming through the ball, so the ball spills out. And again, great work there by the Killeavey man. He's just scooted out, got in front of his man, Eddie.
Yeah, he definitely did. You know, Mullaghbawn are winning a few balls around the middle of the field this last 10 minutes and causing Killeavey a few problems.
Ball's broke out
back into Steve.
Killeavey man down, badly injured down below us here. The ball goes in way over the far side, picked up by O'Hanlon. O'Hanlon skins his man, and he's going to pull the trigger on this one, but he punches it over the bar.
Yeah, back to 10.
A very, very experienced score there by young O'Hanlon there.
Yeah, again, taking the simple score. And we just have a score in here from Cloverhill Golf Club. He was playing in the Rossmore final today, actually against Rossmore, and they've won the first leg of it 3.5 to 1/2. And that'll interest young Paul Kelly from Mullaghbawn down there, because he actually missed the golf to play in today's semi-final.
Well, there we have to say well done to him. So he's not doing so well out here, but the golf's going well from Eddie.
The golf's going well, yeah. That's them in the second leg now with a 3.5 to 1/2 lead, and hopefully they'll go on and bring the glory back to Mullaghbawn.
Well, there we go. So we're going to try and sort out John Doherty. John says, why no video on iPad? I would say, John, download Puffin, and that should get you what you want. If you go to Puffin and download Puffin, that will definitely sort your problem out. But don't go for Flash, so it doesn't support Flash. Ball's broken out, and there's a catch by Murphy. He just gathered that up with one hand. Big Michael Murphy drives through the heart of the Mullaghbawn man. The ball goes way over the far side. An opportunity for Killeavey, Bith Malone going to be putting this one in over the top. Now he still has the ball. A great opportunity. Killeavey's going for the goal here again, but it's up in the air. And it's over the bar.
Another point by James Donnelly. A fantastic point. Like, there's all Mullaghbawn's domination for the last 10 minutes is wiped out completely in the space of a minute through James Donnelly and young Kieran O'Hanlon.
So that's great work there. Very experienced play there by Killeavey towards the end of the first half. 27 minutes is almost gone here in the first half. So Eddie, the game is rolling on rightly. 3-7 to 1-2 in favour of the men from St. Menina.
Yeah, that's it. It's a great 11-point lead. I actually didn't expect it to be like this after the first half, but from Killeavey you're definitely going to settle for it, you know.
Well, we wait now for the ball dropping down in the middle of the field. Well, the Killeavey man stood, but the foot came in there. The referee spotted that. Jimmy's missing nothing here tonight. Ball goes long, but that's coming in over the top. Punch down. Malone gathers that one up and he checks inside. Great bit of work there by Malone. Pushes it long all the way down to Trainer. Trainer catches that one on his chest. Offloads the ball to Holloway. Pushes it in. Well, Stevie calls it. He says, go on. The space is on. The ball comes into Downey. Downey's looking up. Where's the support? This will be a super score, but great defensive block out there by the Mullaghbawn man. And the ball goes away out on the far side. Mullaghbawn build from their full back line. Out to go. The ball heads towards the east stand. Back inside.
Yeah, I think there was actually an opportunity missed by Killeavey. Young Keelan Downey could have shot himself instead of trying to just take the last pass.
Well, that was a high tackle there. The referee has just stopped the game and he's going to call somebody over. No, he's just gone over to say how many minutes. Probably about 2.
Looks as if we have 2 or 3. Yeah, it looks like 2 or 3 minutes. 3 minutes, I think, the signal going up here.
Well,
Mullaghbawn will be glad to see that there's only 3 minutes left, because they really haven't started here in this first half of the athletic grounds.
Well, the score 3-7 to 1-2 in favour of the men from the west side of Slieve Gullion. The ball comes down to Trainer. Trainer gathers it up, tries to go past his man. He goes past him. The referee has indicated that that's a free, so Trainer gathers that free. And this should be one for Killeavey. McDonald comes out and he's going to be hitting this one.
He's going to hit this one. It'll be interesting now to see. To me, he's equally as good left or right. I would say he'll maybe use his right, because we're not that far over the side, and just try to guide it over.
Well, as we look down here, Stevie from Killeavey, as he's affectionately known in Armagh and probably around the country and within Gaelic circles anywhere, Stevie sets the ball on the sod, and if he kicks this one over the bar, that'll be 3-8 to 1-2. But he takes a long look at the black spot here in the athletic grounds towards the cathedral goals. And he strikes this one, the ball's gone, and it's over the bar.
Straight over. I really can't see Mullaghbawn coming back from this now. 3-8 to 1-2. I don't see where they're going to come back.
Well, there we have it. So we're rattling towards the end of the first half. And don't forget the comments in the bottom of the we have another substitute coming in here for Killeavey. So let us know what part of the world you're in. Eugene McVerry. Eugene was in America there for a while. So Eugene McVerry, a bad injury to his elbow earlier on this year. Eugene's coming into the game. Referee says there's a little bit of a push there, so he's indicated there's a push, or is he going to hop her up in the air? Jimmy's going to throw her up. So the ball's gone up between two.
Eugene McVerry now, a fantastic player, an absolute fantastic player. It's sad to see guys like that getting injuries. Now, he could actually cause Killeavey defence a few problems. It'll be interesting to see who picks him up. But hopefully we'll be able to push on.
So Eugene McVerry is on. We have a man coming out for Killeavey. The ball goes up in the air. Ball soccered back. Referees indicate that was a lift.
Substitution on the Mullaghbawn team.
The centre 3/4 for Mullaghbawn is Aidan McVerry. So one McVerry for another here towards the end of the first half. Aidan has been replaced by Eugene. So Stevie McDonald, is he going to, well, he takes it short. He's going to call it back. He gets it back. He looks up and he puts this one up in the air, and that's a super strike. The ball is dropping down, and that again probably is the point of the game.
Stephen McDonald hit that for all of 60 yards, straight over the black spot. Didn't even think about what he was doing, just pure and utter instinct.
Well, super strike there from the man from Killeavey, Stevie McDonald. Davy says, Davy Kelly, are you covering the Oaks Killeavey game next week? Please do. Davy, I'm not sure about that one, but McKinley, he pushes the ball out, picked up, and the Mullaghbawn man is surrounded by 2 or 3 Killeavey men, so the referee's going to pull the ball up another 13 metres onto their 70-metre line. And this ball's going to be pushed towards the forwards, and I can say Mullaghbawn probably need a goal at this stage to give themselves a bit of a lift coming in towards the end of the first half. Ball goes into the centre half back, Smith goes one way, offloads the pass, Paul goes in, McVerry comes out, or that English, over on the far side. Ball's down, difficult ball to gather up, 2 or 3 men. Well, there's lots of tackles going in there.
Yeah, a lot of tackles going in. Jimmy made the right call, a free in, But Damien was saying there, Mullaghbawn need a goal. I think they actually need 2 goals before half-time to make any impact. 13 points down.
Well, if the ball comes in there, there's a man over. Well, there's another high tackle there. The referee says that's a free in. The referee's going to be giving another Killeavey man a yellow card by the looks of things, Eddie.
I don't think he'll actually give him a yellow card. I think the Mullaghbawn player went down slightly with his head, but again, it was a highest target, and free's definitely the right call from Jimmy.
And of course, it's just a ticking. So Mullaghbawn have a chance for a point. And this time it goes over the bar.
Yeah, back now to 12 in it. So, in absolute fairness to both teams, they're actually going out and playing football. We haven't seen anything untoward happening anywhere on the field at this stage.
Well, there's no question about it. There's the half-time whistle. So the half-time score here is 3-9 to 1-3 here. And the wide is for, Sean tells us,
We have hit no wides in Mullaghbawn 5. That sort of just tells the tale of the first half.
So there we have it, 5 wides for Mullaghbawn, and of course the 2 teams come in at half-time underneath us, Eddie. Mullaghbawn have a very steep hill to climb.
Very, very steep. Like, they're sitting 12 points behind here. I really can't see them coming back, you know. They probably, if they are going to come back, they need to have Eugene McVerry right in the full forward line. He's probably a wee bit too far out at centre half, but I can't see where they're going to make inroads into this Killeavey defence.
Well, we look down, the 2 teams go off, the linesman, the referee, and everybody's coming in for a wee cup of tea, Eddie. But we see Mickey O'Neill standing down there. Mickey's sitting down there. Mickey's waving in. He's smiling all right, Eddie. He's happy enough.
Yeah, we're getting the thumbs up there from Mickey, the chairman of Killeavey Club, who's doing a great job up there. And Mickey said to me before the match he'd like a comfortable win of 4 points. I would say he's in his element now, that we're actually 12 points ahead with half-time just finished.
Well, there's no question about that. Mickey would be happy enough the way it scores. I see Stevie McDonald Senior down there as well, involved with the Killeavey team, Eddie.
Yes, Silver, as we affectionately know him, he's been about a long time. You know, to me, nobody actually does as much work around Killeavey football as Stevie, and he's a great lad to have about, you know.
Great man, a great GA man, of course. And don't forget the game tomorrow afternoon here in the Athletic Grounds at 3:45. Carrickcroppen versus Sarsfields in the replay. A super match last weekend, of course, covered by Destination Uri. And if we get half as good a match tomorrow, Eddie, it'll be a good one.
Yeah, there's actually been some cracking matches in the Armagh Championship. I actually went out to watch Killeavey and Cullyhanna there last week, and even though maybe the standard wasn't that great, it was a fantastic, intriguing match. And it'll be very interesting next week when Cullyhanna play the Oaks, and I think the Oaks is going to get their fill of it next week against Cullyhanna.
Of course, and I just see big Stephen Harrell from Carrickcroppen walking past us here. So Stephen, well, he'll be out on the green sod tomorrow. Ryan McWilliams, Stevie Trainer is a massive fan from Cranchigo, so great to have him on board here this afternoon on Destination Uri. Eddie?
Yeah, like there's some, you look around here, there's some good, like I see Peter Rafferty, the Armagh under-21 manager that won the Ireland there, and he's definitely going to be interested. I think he's over the Grange minor team that's going to face Killeavey in the minor championship, and I think he'd be very interested on how young Kieran O'Hanlon's and Murphy's playing out here today.
Well, if I was Peter, I would be saying the only way to stop them 2 men would be put Langles on them and a big anchor, because they're super footballers.
Well, without a doubt, but then again you have to look at Peter's own son Nathan there, or Ethan actually. He's actually a fantastic player, and Killeavey will wonder how they're going to stop him at midfield. Like, he's one of the biggest minors I've ever seen playing football. Fantastic minor, fantastic temperament, and that's definitely a match that's worth coming to see, as the minor championship now in a few weeks' time.
Of course, it'll be great for the young fellas getting out here in the athletic grounds and getting in front of a big crowd, so it'll be super stuff. And we wish both teams the very best. And I look out and we see, and I have to say, Eddie, I love when I see youngsters out on the field at half time. I know it's not, the GA don't sort of say you should do it, but I still think it's great to see it.
Without a doubt, you know what I mean. GA is here for all, and to be chasing youngsters off a field at half time is a bit unfair. And actually to stop lads going on and warming up before matches and at half time is a wee bit daft as well. You know, the pitch is there, it should be used by everybody, and it's great to see.
Well, wherever you are around the world this evening, let us know. We're covering the match here all around the world on Destination Uri this evening. And of course, we have to say hello to Mark Shevlin. Eddie, are you free for a round of golf on Wednesday? Mark wants to know, Eddie.
Yeah, well, hopefully if I get out of work early enough, I'll be there for the nine-hole competition. You know, I'll go out there and play a wee bit of golf with Mark. He's already in the Wednesday Cup final. I haven't qualified yet, but might do it on Wednesday night.
Well, Mark, I don't know what sort of a golfer Eddie is, but maybe you could let us know, is he any good? Because knowing Eddie, he'd probably tell us a good story.
Well, Eddie's actually in the match play, singles match play final in Mullaghbawn, but I play off a handicap of 28, which shows you where I am, and the boys are complaining that I'm even in the final with a handicap like that. But sure, look, if you can get into the final playing off a woman's handicap, why not?
Well, if you're sitting with a handicap of 28, you must have been born in February, Eddie.
I must have been born somewhere along the line. Now, I actually played young Paul Kelly there, who plays for Mullaghbawn in one of the matches. He's a fantastic golfer, and he's going to win something at golf this year.
Well, the best of luck to them, and well done to Mullaghbawn Golf Club. They're going well at the minute, Eddie.
Yeah, we're flying at the minute. We can say we're halfway through the Rossmore final now. Great result today. I was out caddying for the Armagh legend that is Neil Smith. I was out caddying for Neil there today. He had some great putts. Him and Anthony Hillen won his match 4-2, which was a fantastic score. So all set up well for a nice return leg over in Rossmore next week.
Well, we just see Gareth McCullough. We're going to see, can we get Gareth here? Gareth, we had the match today between Newry City and Warrenpoint.
Yeah, it was a pretty flat affair. Warrenpoint time probably shaded the chances created. The mark Newry's created for Stephen Hughes out of the game. But in fairness, Warrenpoint probably deserved, if any of the teams deserved to win, it was probably 1 point, but maybe a draw was a fair result in the end. But a typical local derby, plenty of challenges. Newry had the captain Darren King, who also plays for Forkhill, sent off in the last couple of minutes for a second bookable offence. So that's 3 times the teams have played each other over the last 2 seasons. Been a player sent off in each match, so it's a typical local derby match, you know.
Of course, Warrenpoint, great facilities, Gareth, down in Warrenpoint, for like a club that's just sort of probably come up very quickly.
Well, they're a very progressive club. I mean, they've progressed through on the pitch. As you said, very quickly over the last couple of years, from winning the Mid-Ulster and then in the Championship 2, won at the first attempt, and we consolidated the position in Championship 1 last season. But speaking to Newry City manager Raymond Byrne after the game, and he was full of praise for Warrenpoint. He said he thought maybe last year against Newry they were a wee bit naive, but he said they've improved beyond compare this season. I mean, they said they're doing well. Both teams, I think, are sitting on 10 points this season. So they're well up there, and they're both having a chance of competing at the right end of the table.
That's great, and of course got it first here with Gareth letting us know that Newry had a good draw and probably maybe a fair enough result today between Warrenpoint and Newry City down in Warrenpoint. So Eddie, not alone do we just cover Gaelic, we cover every sport that we can get our hands on.
Oh, we might as well. It's great actually to see we have a local derby in the soccer now too with Newry and Warrenpoint. I actually went to a Warrenpoint match last season just when they came up, and it's fantastic that they're actually playing at that level. Hopefully them and Newry can get things sorted out, particularly in Newry, and back maybe into the top level of the football.
No question about it, and we're sitting here in the athletic grounds. We're having a bit of chit chat here about other sports, and of course Rory McIlroy, Eddie, is going well, and the FedEx Cup. Rory has a chance of winning $10 million.
$10 million, yeah. I hope his uncle Mickey there, the ex-Armagh footballer, can extract a few pound with him to invest in Armagh football, but you never know what Rory might invest in.
Well, he definitely not investing in the Armagh football, Eddie, no matter what you think.
Oh, you never know. He could part with a few pound if we petition him hard enough.
Well, we wish him well in his quest for glory in the FedEx Cup. And Eddie, the FedEx Cup is a strange competition. They try to get all the great golfers towards the end of the year, and when you win so many competitions, you get 500 points and different things. And because McIlroy is ahead, Tiger Woods could catch him.
Yeah, look, to be honest with you, the scoring in golf is that strange. I have no idea how it works. Anybody, I believe Woods can actually catch him. I can't see him catching him because McIlroy is actually playing great stuff this last few weeks, and I don't think Woods will catch him in the FedEx.
Well, if he just settles himself down and plays the way he's going, Eddie, he should win the FedEx Cup and win 10 million.
He should do, yeah. Well, look, I don't begrudge anybody winning anything in any sport. Well, maybe some other team from South Armagh, but we won't say much about that. And it's not Cross Midland before somebody says anything.
Oh, we better not get into that one, Eddie. So
Damien knows who it is, all right, I'm sure.
We'll say enough. Maybe we'll get Eddie in some Sunday on the Sunday Sports Show, and he can let us know. And of course, Eddie, Killeavey would be, they have great competitions. They have the ladies sevens and the men's sevens.
Yeah, well, the men's sevens didn't come off this year for various reasons. The ladies sevens did come off, but just anything, to keep sport alive, to keep a few pound coming in the club. And I know it's hard for a lot of GAA clubs out there at the minute, and all the support for any club in the county, country, anywhere at all is always welcome.
And I just see James Daly's walk past the press box, and of course he's the manager of the Armagh Ladies.
Yeah, James, the manager of Armagh Ladies. James was actually here. People will be surprised to see him here, but James's son was actually on the Killeavey under 16 hurling team that competed, even though he's a Drummond lad. He plays.
Ryan.
Yeah, he plays for Killeavey, hurling for Killeavey, which is nice to see.
So hard luck to young Ryan. He almost won a championship medal there, but Derry Noose got the result there.
Derry Noose got the result. Yeah, Killeavey was never expected to win that. But what a lot of people don't actually know, if your own club doesn't have a hurling club, you're actually quite welcome and quite entitled to go and play hurling for another club and play football for your own. So just remember that if you want to take up hurling, you're more than welcome in Killeavey.
There you go, and of course Creeverua and Camla area as well, the feed-in clubs there, Carcrup and Shane O'Neill's, Cranchago, and a couple of other clubs. Eddie, you're spot on in that one, and it's a great way of promoting hurling in the areas where hurling wouldn't be the first sport.
Definitely so. Like if you look, Silver Bridge don't have a hurling team, Mullaghbawn don't have a hurling team, and those guys should. If you have an interest in hurling, go find a local hurling club like Creeverua, like Killeavey. Come along and you'll be made more than welcome in any of the clubs.
And of course we have to thank the Armagh County Board for allowing us in here this evening. We appreciate their support and their help here this evening, Eddie. It's great. I know it's a whole new venture, this live Gaelic games on a Saturday evening here in Armagh, and it's definitely something to be proud of.
Definitely so, yeah. It's bringing sport. Like at the end of the day, people in Australia, Barcelona and all, we were relying on text messages, and you know yourself, if the game's getting hot and heavy, you don't want to be texting on the phone, so you might as well just switch on your iPad, switch on your computer and sit back and watch it.
And of course Lammy King says David Markey, it's a great game. Yeah, David's playing well, so Lammy, it's great that you're tuned in and watching the game this evening on Destination Uri. So Oliver Crummy, hello Damien and Eddie. Ollie Crummy here, watching here in the candy store Dundalk. It's a sweet half-time result for Killeavey. So absolutely great to have you on board, Oliver.
Yeah, Oliver Crummy, yeah. Where's Oliver there at the minute?
There's him here, look.
Oh, in the candy store in Dundalk, yeah. Send us down a few wee sweeties there, Oliver. We'll be more than welcome.
No
See
question.
Stephen McShane here making a wee comment there from Australia. Stephen, a fine hurler in his day. So he's enjoying himself there.
And of course he's in Australia.
Fantastic to hear from him just when I see what he's put up here in this.
So there you go, Stephen McShane. Yeah, he's definitely is. And Eddie probably not realise how many times he's used the word fantastic until he re-watches this game. And of course it will be up on Destination Uri on Monday sometime. So it gives him an opportunity to go back and look at the game.
I will indeed. And just Stephen is actually a cousin of my own wife, so all his family were asking about him and just keep asking me how he's doing. So we're all thinking about you over there in Australia, Stephen.
So there we have it. It's great that Stephen is tuned in to Destination Uri here this afternoon or this evening, or if it's today or tomorrow in Australia. I'm just not too sure, but it's great to have you on board. And I have to try and get my stopwatch going again here. So
well, I have one here. If all else fails, I have one here in front of me.
So there's clicks and clicks going here. So Jimmy McKee's in the middle of the field, ready to go again. So we're trying to get the stopwatch going. Jimmy's looking at the watch. He's deciding it's time to throw the ball up, so the game goes on here, Eddie.
Yep, it's be interesting. Mullaghbawn definitely have to get off to the flying start here. If Killeavey can hold out for the next 5-10 minutes, I think this match is in the bag.
Well, the ball spills out there, but the Killeavey man gathers it up. Ball's pushed long down into this, right down into no man's land. There out comes the keeper. The keeper comes out to the 21-metre line, pushes the ball away over the far side. McDonald comes out. McDonald steals that ball back, chips it up, looks round. Where's the support? Malone's inside. Malone goes for that one. He didn't get it. The ball comes out. Well, the ball spills out. And the Mullaghbawn man, well, he's down and he's injured. The referee has spotted an indiscretion there, so he's calling a Killeavey man over to him.
Slightly late tackle there by Stephen Malone. I would imagine he's going to get a yellow card for it.
So Stephen's going to be picking up a yellow card here as we look down. We think anyway. We wait to see what Jimmy's going to be doing.
Jimmy's not a hot-headed referee. Generally he takes his time, thinks about a decision, and 99% of the time Jimmy does get it right.
So we have now another yellow card there for the big man from Killeavey. We have a man down injured, Eddie, but isn't it amazing that we are sitting here in the athletic grounds this evening and the lads are all around the world, Madrid, and we're in Australia.
It is. Unfortunately, a lot of the lads had to go just for financial reasons and different things, you know, but the fact that they can actually keep in touch at home is great.
So we have Ching in New Jersey, great half-time score. Hopefully they can push on and finish the job, Eddie. So
yeah, I know young Ching there. Ching left a wee while ago over to New Jersey. Nice lad. Played hurling for Killeavey. So hopefully he's keeping the sport alive over there in New Jersey.
Okay, Fran says the comments aren't coming up on the screen. No, they're not coming up at the moment, Fran, but we'll get them up. We're trying to do a million things here at the minute, so just keep them coming in because we can see them here anyway. We're reading them here as they come in, so that's the beauty of how the thing pans out. But we have the Mullaghbawn man down over injured on the far side, so we're waiting to see what's happening. Well, he's okay, he's up. Jimmy says let's get on with the game. So Mullaghbawn need a goal, Eddie, at this stage. I know from your point of view you probably don't want to see them get it, but from a neutral point of view that's a lift ball off the ground, but the referee says play on. Ball's pushed back inside. No overlap, but there's no overlap coming. Eddie English pushes the ball away out in the far corner, but out comes a full back from Killeavey, covers them back. The ball spills away out. An opportunity up in the air, and that's a super strike if it goes over the bar.
Definitely a super strike. Mullaghbawn worked hard for that, and it was an excellent finish from them.
So that's a good score there from the big Mullaghbawn man.
I'll just say hello there to my niece Shifra Keenan, who's probably listening up in Killian. It was her birthday there a week or so ago, and hopefully she's enjoying our presents okay.
Well, that's a good score there from Mullaghbawn. I'm just not sure who put that one over the bar from the Mullaghbawn point of view, but Eamon Quinn clipped that one over the bar, so well done to Eamon. Eamon got that one over the bar, so Mullaghbawn probably need a goal, 1-4 to 3-9, so they definitely need a goal. The ball comes out dropping down. The referee's indicated a little bit of a push there, so Killeavey want to get the quick ball inside.
Yeah, the game's just a wee bit scrappy here at the minute at the start of the second half. Probably suiting Killeavey like that at the minute.
Malone pushes away to Trainer. Trainer comes out, he gathers that one, he puts his arms around it and says you're not getting it. He spins one way, spins round, pushes the pass way over on the far side. He goes looking for the return. Ball's pushed inside. An opportunity here for Killeavey. And there goes O'Hanlon. O'Hanlon's heading for the goals, and again he does the right thing. He punches it over the bar.
Another fisted point. You know, for such a young lad, he has such an experienced head on his shoulders. It's fantastic. But again, that all came from good work from Trainer on the far corner, winning the ball, 50-50 ball, winning it, laying it off. Him and Malone, I think, have been absolutely fantastic this game.
Mullaghbawn try to take the quick kick out and get caught. So an opportunity here. McDonald's away over the far side, calling for the ball. Ball comes in this time. He has it. He looks round. He offloads the pass back inside to Malone. Malone's heading towards the goals, and he's going to go. And he punches this one off the bar. It comes inside, picked up by the rear guard. The referee says that's a push. That was a chance, but Mullaghbawn get on with the game, Eddie.
Mullaghbawn get on with it. Yeah, Stevie was in. He's back out now. Stephen's okay. Oh, this could be trouble here for Murphy. I would imagine it's possibly another yellow card.
Didn't see that. I was looking round at the laptop there. So Michael Murphy, the young Michael Murphy, is probably going to pick up a card here.
Yeah, I think it was a slightly high tackle. Nothing malicious in it. Murphy's not a malicious player, and I think he's just going to pick up a yellow card.
Well, he's picked up a card there, and it looks to be a yellow card. Yeah, it's a yellow card, so he's picked up a yellow card. So Michael Murphy got a yellow card there. So Jimmy got that one spot on. And of course, as you say, Michael, he's not a dirty player. And fair play to the Mullaghbawn man. He got up very quick. The ball comes inside. An opportunity here. O'Hanlon goes the long way around, pulls it in the right foot, looks over the left shoulder, puts it up in the air, and puts it over the bar.
Another fantastic score.
Super strike by Kieran O'Hanlon. His third score of the game here.
And in fairness to the Mullaghbawn lad, he could have laid down, he could have led on, he was hurt, he didn't, he just got up and got on with it. And that's we want to see more of that in the GAA.
So that was great score there by young Kieran O'Hanlon from Killeavey. Killeavey 3-11 to 1-4. I thought this game would have been tighter, but we're early into the first half, or the second half. But great catch there by Quinn in the middle of the field. Spins out. Mullaghbawn on the attack, down the middle, trying to get a goal. They need to go for a goal here. Well, great defensive work there by the Killeavey men.
Killeavey have actually made another substitution, I think, at half-time. Collie Bourne has come on, the Killeavey number 5, who didn't start the match, but I'm not sure who's gone off for him.
Well, we'll check that in a moment, but Mullaghbawn on the attack. The ball's put up, and it's gone to the right and wide. That's maybe 6 wides for Mullaghbawn. 6 wides for Mullaghbawn.
Yeah, it's not good enough from Mullaghbawn's point of view. 6 wides to Killeavey. I think Killeavey only won. The game should actually be reading 3-12 to 110 at the minute.
3-12. 3-11 to 1-4. So Mullaghbawn have a very, very steep hill to climb. Of course, a couple of goals could change that one, and they need a couple of goals. But it looks as if Killeavey have all the angles covered here this evening. So Ball's pushed out. Great block down there in the middle. Ball spills out. 1, 2, 3 men goes after it. But the Killeavey centre half back chases after that one. James Stanley scored a point earlier on. James puts a hand up and says, I've been held, but the referee says you overcarried the ball. James was looking for the handy score and he kicked the ball away, so the referee's going to move the ball 13 metres closer to the goals.
Yeah, look, he's right. There was, you don't argue with Jimmy. Jimmy just moves it up, and rightly so. Mullaghbawn should be scoring from this.
1-4 to 3-11. The ball's up in the air and it's pushed over the bar.
Yep, another point from Mullaghbawn. It looks as if Killeavey's substitute Keelan Downey has actually left the field and has been replaced by Collybourne at half time.
There we go. So fair play to Eddie's quick eyes there down in the gloom or the darkness or the light of the athletic grounds here. The lights is on. I think maybe there's 2 row of lights not on around the stanchions, but maybe I'm wrong, Eddie. I don't want to look up because they'll blind me. But the score 1-5 to 3-11 in favour of the men from the left side of South Armagh. Ball's coming out, broken down but caught there by Murphy. Murphy goes out, pushes it long, but this time the Killeavey man was sleeping, and that man sleeping was Stevie McDonald, believe it or not. Out come Mullaghbawn trying to get a score, trying to manufacture a goal. Quinn looks up, he offloads the pass. Ball's pushed long down towards the full forward line. While the ball spills out here, maybe the lad's taking a little bit of time to get used to the lights. Referee has said that's a push. The first free was a push, so it's a free in for Mullaghbawn, Eddie.
Free in from Mullaghbawn. Probably I could have maybe given a free out for Killeavey there, but Jimmy again is a lot closer to than us. But what was interesting in that is Michael Murphy was right back there on the 21 doing the defence. He's all over the field here at the minute.
Well, Shane Garvey, he's watching down there in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, and he's saying, did he see Geezer and the McNulty boys warming up for Mullaghbawn? Shane, well, Shane, there was one time he probably could have been a Mullaghbawn man, and there's not a yellow card. The referee indicated that was a yellow card for one of the Killeavey men for the foul, but the ball's up in the air and it's over. So that's 2 quick points for Mullaghbawn, Eddie. 2
quick points from Mullaghbawn, but they really need to be putting them under the bar if they're going to have any chance. Killeavey have a sub warming up here. Young Donald O'Neill, captain of the Armagh Miners, is about to come into the field. It'll be interesting to see who he's replacing. Could be Big James Duffy.
So we're just going to check this out now to see who's coming off. Maybe one of the men that was...
I think this is young Moan coming off here. Probably one of our younger guys in cornerback. O'Neill, fantastic attacking player from defence here, and he should be able to hold Paul Kelly okay.
3-11 to 1-6 in favour of the men from Killeavey. O'Hanlon puts this one out. It's up. He's got a lot of elevation on it. It's dropping down. Oh, great catch there, but the referee says that's a free. Well, so Killeavey have the free. Ball's pushed into McDonald. McDonald gathers that with one hand. He looks round. He's going to be giving the quick ball into the corner. The ball goes into the corner. Out comes
Keenan Trainer.
Trainer comes round. Well, we look out through the press box here. We look into the corner. The ball is offloaded back. So Killeavey recycle the ball, as they would say in rugby. Ball goes away over on the far side. The ball's up in the air. It's dropping down. That's a Gary Owen. Down she comes. And the Killeavey man's been wrapped around him by 1, 2, 3. Well, he's bounced into somebody there. The ball's still on the ground. The referee says play on. The ball's on the ground. Mullaghbawn don't wait. They gather it up. They drive forward. That's great bit of defensive work. And Michael Murphy needs to watch himself. He's already booked. So Michael just needs to watch himself.
Yeah, Michael definitely needs to be careful here. Again, he's not a dirty player, but a clumsy tackle here could get you a yellow card. And if that's the case, Killeavey would be down to 14 men.
So there we have it, and of course let's just see what's happening here. The ball goes long, down to an opportunity here. Well, that was a poor enough pass to the ball, had to come in front of the man. Great work by Eugene McVerry. Eugene McVerry turns round, and that's a super strike by Eugene McVerry.
Definitely so, reminiscent of one he hit down in Tralee there at the start of the year. Fantastic player, and fantastic score.
Well, there we go. Dacky Gormley says, get yourselves up to Tyrone to cover Errigal Kieran versus Carrickmore next weekend. Hard to see the games over here in Philadelphia. Well, if you check out Destination Uri, Dacky, you can get a couple of games here, there and everywhere. You wouldn't know where we turn up, but we'll turn up at a Gaelic match somewhere close to you, somewhere around the world on Destination Uri. O'Hanlon, he kicks the ball. The ball goes long, down into the middle. Oh, great catch there by
fantastic by Murphy.
Absolutely, and he's flying
brilliant.
Down the left side. He looks up. Where's the support? Out to the wing forward, pushing all the way across. Killeavey sweeping the ball one way, sweeping the ball the other. Malone goes one way, puts it up into the air, but it's into the keeper's hands. McKinley comes out. McKinley's looking up, pushes the ball out to the far side. Mullaghbawn come from the back line, up the field with the ball, trying to get a score, trying to manufacture a goal. They need a goal at this stage of the game. There's a foul there. The referee says play on. Jimmy McGee, the very experienced referee, having a great match here this evening down in the athletic grounds. Ball spills out one. Well, the Mullaghbawn men gathered up. An opportunity here for Mullaghbawn. Well, he looks round. Where's the support? The support comes all the way back. He's in over the top. Mullaghbawn definitely going for a goal here. Heading for goal. Goes across the goals. And it's over the bar.
Another point by Paul Kelly. Yeah, Paul Kelly popped up again with a point again. Very, very hard player to mark. And Mullaghbawn have actually dominated the start of this second half, this first 11 minutes or so. Still haven't really made a massive impact on the scoreboard.
So there we go, Mullaghbawn got a good run there. Simon Fuzzy Fizell watching here in the Morgan Hotel in Dublin, on our way to see Lady Gaga. Great service up the Crupps tomorrow day, he says. Well, you're going to see Lady Gaga. We are showing Gaga here this evening down in the athletic grounds, Fuzzy, between Mullaghbawn and Killeavey. There's no wild messing about with us here on Destination Uri. We put the show on for you. It's on the field. But Killeavey on the attack. The ball goes inside. O'Hanlon sweeps the pass out to McDonald. Young to the old man of the team. Well, he's not so old, but he's playing queer stuff, and the referee says that's a free in. So Stevie McDonald will be taking this one, and he'll be clipping this one over the bar.
Yeah, he should put this over. Hopefully settle down Killeavey a wee bit. I think this could be possibly Killeavey's first score of the second half.
3-11 to 1-8. And of course, if Mullaghbawn could score a goal, Eddie, I know you probably wouldn't want them to score a goal, but if they could score a goal, there would be some crack. I can tell you for the last 15 minutes of the half, there's 12 minutes and 40 seconds gone. Stevie McDonald has a chance on the 21-metre line just to clip the ball over the bar.
Yeah, and Killeavey have another sub to come on straight after this.
And Stevie McDonald puts this one up in the air.
Off the post and over.
So it goes over the bar, and we have a young substitute coming in here, number 23 for
Niall O'Neill, replacing Conor King. You know, Conor King again, an ex-Armagh minor with an All-Ireland medal under it. Coming in for Niall O'Neill, coming in another fantastic young prospect.
So Niall O'Neill comes in to the game here. 15 minutes almost gone in the second half. Of course, this is our first double header on Destination Uri this weekend. Tomorrow, Carrickcrummon versus Sarsfields. The ball comes out down. Well, there's a little bit of a push there, but 1, 2, 3. The referee says there was about 3 fouls committed there, but Mullaghbawn get this one. And that man, we're number 5 for Mullaghbawn's playing very, very hard. Shane McParl, good young player for Mullaghbawn. Eddie English puts a lovely ball inside. Mullaghbawn have a chance here. Where's the overlap? The overlap comes on the far side. A lot of Killeavey men in front of him. Ball pushed back, all the way pushed back. Great bit of defensive work by Killeavey. They put a defensive screen right in front of the Killeavey men. The ball comes out underneath us here, picked up by that man O'Neill to come in. So O'Neill gets the return pass, puts the ball back inside. So kick long down towards McDonald. McDonald, well, it come off his head. McDonald holds on to his man, but there's a big hit there. But up gets the Killeavey man, chasing after the ball. O'Neill, he offloads the pass. Ball spills out one way over on the far side. So Killeavey have a chance away over on the far side. Well, there's pretty tight in there. An opportunity for O'Neill. He offloads the pass. No, he puts it up in the air and he puts it over the bar. Great score by the young man.
Great score. He's only on the field there for a minute and put it over. He's actually been all over the field since he came on. He's great engine in him. Great block down here by Gordy McGuinness to actually give O'Neill the chance to pick it up. He started the move and finished it off. Brilliant stuff.
So great work here by the youngsters from both teams, playing well, showing that it's not all about the experienced players. The young lads can step up to the mark, of course, and both teams have a lot of young players playing here this evening. Ball's pushed long by McKinley, caught on the far side. Mullaghbawn need to get a goal to score. 1-8 to 3-13. Put inside, an opportunity for McVerry. McVerry gets the ball, he gets up as quick as a flash of lightning. He's heading towards the goals, he's flying, he turns around. Where's the support? Referee says he's been pulled, and if Eugene McVerry had been on the start here, Eddie.
Yeah, I don't think Eugene was fit to start the game, but he has caused a few problems going there. David Markey probably done the right thing from a Killeavey point of view and had a wee tug at him there to give away a free, but you might as well just give away a free than a goal, you know.
Well, we couldn't condone that sort of action.
If you're a Killeavey man with only 15 minutes left in the championship, you can really condone a lot of things.
So that ball was put over the bar. So Mullaghbawn again going well in the second half, but
still 10 points in it.
They would still need to be getting a couple of goals. 1-9 to 3-13. Of course, Killeavey playing, I suppose, Division 1 football here in Armagh, playing playing well here this evening. And is that another substitute in for Killeavey? I'm not sure, but there's a man with white boots. No, it's not. It's the number 7. He's still over there, and that's
Connor
Quinn.
King.
So
Connor Quinn.
Connor Quinn is still in here in the game. The ball's kicked out long, dropping down into the middle. The ball comes down. Oh, there was great catch there, but the Mullaghbawn man just picked that one up as he was standing. They're looking for McVerry in the forwards. McVerry's looking down the corner, calling for the ball. Ball comes down underneath us here, bounces. Well, that's a foul there, so the Mullaghbawn man was fouled underneath us here, so an opportunity for Mullaghbawn to get another score. Jimmy McGee says, I don't want it, just leave it there.
Yeah, it's always a good idea in a situation like that to give the ball back to the referee. It'll waste a second or two. I've never seen a referee kick one over the bar yet, and I don't think Jimmy was going to try from 35 yards out.
Well, we'll see, can the Mullaghbawn man put this one over the bar? We're looking down here to see, can he clip this one over the bar? Taking a long look at the goals. And then he tries to pull that one round, and he pulls it round off the post. And it's still in play. Well, would you believe that if Mullaghbawn's luck was in, that ball would have bounced over the bar? But Eddie, that maybe just tells us the tale of Mullaghbawn.
It just tells, like, you know, it's probably a mortal sin to have the ball hit the post on the near side. You know, you should be always aiming for the far side of those and doing it. But it just sort of tells the tale of Mullaghbawn's day. They've just been too wasteful in front of the nets.
So we're waiting here for the goalkeeper to kick this one out. O'Hanlon. Well, of course, the match tomorrow is going to be between Carrickcrummel and Sarsfields at 4:15. James Doyle and myself will be here tomorrow evening. And, of course, the Sunday sports show tomorrow night. And, of course, James is going to come in on that one. But the game gets on here underneath as well. The Mullaghbawn man, he was wrapped around there by 3 or 4 Killeavey men. And that was Jared Doherty. Jared, one of the young footballers off Mullaghbawn who picked up an All-Ireland medal earlier on this year with St Paul's. Referee has said just tick back a step or two or go a wee bit further out, but things is okay. So Mullaghbawn's going to be pushing this one in about the house. The ball's dropping down, and the ball's broke. Mullaghbawn going to soccer this one along the ground, but out comes the foot of the Killeavey man.
A great tackle there by James Donnelly. A last gasp effort, pushes the ball away from the Killeavey net.
So Killeavey come from their own half back line, away over the far side, pushing the ball long down towards Stevie McDonald. The ball goes out, Stevie gathers it up, looks round, where's trainer? The ball gets in over the top, an opportunity here. If this ball's flicked inside, but it's not. There's a man down, there's 2 men down, but up they get. The ball goes on, the game goes on here. Killeavey have gathered it up, looking around O'Hanlon. He goes one way, he goes the other, he still has the ball, he's going the long way around, he's going round the bottom of Sleep Gullion, and he puts that one round over the top of Corabellia's Lake and over the bar.
Absolutely fantastic score from O'Hanlon. He picked the ball up one side of the field, ran 60 yards right across and slipped it over the bar.
Super strike by young Kieran O'Hanlon, one of the stars of Armagh football for the future, no question about that one. Stevie Malone in the press box. Stevie has watched Kieran O'Hanlon all year, and Stephen is saying he's some footballer, is young O'Hanlon.
He definitely is, but if you actually look, Killeavey's playing a lot quicker, a lot more direct ball in, and Mullaghbawn have never got to grips with Malone, McDonald, Trainer or O'Hanlon. They just haven't got to grips with those 4 guys in the forward line.
Stevie Malone's after saying it's time young Kieran O'Hanlon was playing for the senior county team.
Well, I'll let you into a thing. He was actually approached at the end of last year. Felt he's a wee bit too young. Like, this lad's I think he's only 1 week overage for minors next year. So he's a wee bit too young to be on the senior panel. But I imagine next year we'll see him donning the senior jersey for Armagh, maybe in the McKenna Cup to start with.
Well, Matt says here, I hope the game tomorrow is more exciting. Well, we have to say, Killeavey have been playing some mighty stuff here this evening. They scored 3 cracking goals in the first half. But the game goes on here. Pushed out McKinley, kicks it long. Ball spills out, picked up by the big man from the Killeavey in the middle of the field.
Big James Duffy.
Big James, yeah. James pushes into trainer, back inside to O'Neill. O'Neill goes down the right hand side, back inside. Well, the ball, great bit of defensive work here by Killeavey, holding the ball. Full back comes up, an opportunity for Killeavey to put one in towards the house. The ball comes out on the far side. O'Neill goes the long way. He's going to put it on the left foot. He goes, well, he's been pushed down, but he gets up. He rolls the tackle. He looks round for support. The support comes all the way back. So Killeavey come from the half back, or the half forward line. Malone. Well, he put that one in the keeper's hands. I think that might be the very first one in the hands of the fourth one. There we go. I thought I didn't fair play to young Shane here for keeping us right about that one. That's 4 in the keeper's hands this evening from Killeavey. But Mullaghbawn coming down the middle with the ball, trying to get a goal. Well, he nearly overstepped that one, but he pushes it long down towards Eddie English. Eddie charges out after the ball, tries to get it up. He gathers it round. He looks up. He puts a high loop on Holy Mary, Mother of God ball. The ball's dropping down. It comes down. A great bit of defensive work there by Killeavey, but the Mullaghbawn man gathered it up away over in the corner. Very hard to see the numbers here down in athletic grounds, but Mullaghbawn still have the ball. McVerry, it looks to be McVerry. He goes one way, he goes the other, and that's a super strike if that goes over the bar.
Yeah, we've actually seen some fantastic scores here from both teams. Particularly most teams have got the scorers here on the ball at the end of it. They're not taking silly shots. They've McVerry scoring, McDonald scoring for Killeavey, and it's those boys that's going to win you
senior championships. There's no question about that. We have a substitute coming in for Killeavey, number 17 coming in for Killeavey. Young 17 is young Raymond Taggart.
Raymond has lots of experience. Raymond started playing seconds football for Killeavey all of maybe 10 years ago, replacing Stevie Malone.
And we have a substitute for Mullaghbawn as well. We're not sure who came in from Mullaghbawn there, but we'll keep you posted because Sean, our PA man, will let us know very, very quickly here. We're looking at one end of the field, and
the number 27, I think, from John Ferris, is replaced.
John comes in. John's a very experienced player for Mullaghbawn. Ball's broken down. Killeavey, Murphy looks round one way, offloads the pass, back inside. Well, ball's punched away, and the referee says that's a throw ball.
Oh.
That was a hard one, but Jimmy maybe closer than we were, so Mullaghbawn need to be launching this one down to McVerry. McVerry needs to be getting his hands on this one. But that's Ferris. He comes out, looks around, where's the support? Driving forward. Ball goes in over the top. An opportunity, but out comes the
Murphy again.
Yep.
No.
The fullback, the big
Markey,
fullback.
Markey.
Yeah. Markey playing well. David Markey.
Markey's actually moved to centre half, and they've left James Donnelly in at fullback.
He used to play a bit of football for Cranchigo, but there goes O'Neill. Well, he forgets the ball. He soccers it along the ground, picked up by big Michael Murphy. Michael offloads the pass back inside to Trainer. Trainer goes on the far side, gets the return pass, but the ball comes into O'Neill. O'Neill goes in one way, goes the other. An opportunity here for Killeavey, and this ball was hammered over the bar. I think he had goal on his mind there.
I think he possibly had it. That actually looks like young O'Hanlon again. But Killeavey have actually done something very shrewd here at the minute. They've put James Donnelly right into the full back line, pushed Markey out to centre half, and Donnelly should be fit to cope with any of the high balls that Mullaghbawn's going to pepper in now for the last 8 minutes or so.
And I see Collie Bennett has come in from Mullaghbawn. So was the Armagh trials on today? Yes, the Armagh trials were on this morning. The under 17s and under 18s was in this morning. Great catch there by Murphy. You can see the muscles in his stretching. He pushed the ball out the far side to Trainer. Trainer goes one way. He goes round the back. He looks up. He gives the pass inside. An opportunity for Killeavey to get one on the board here, but they're building back into Murphy. He gives the ball back outside and over the top. An opportunity for Killeavey. Well, McDonald goes one way. He goes the other. Spins the ball around. That wasn't McDonald, but the ball goes up and it goes
wide. Wide. How many's
that's second wide. Killeavey's second wide.
That's absolutely amazing to be 23 minutes into the second half and only have hit 2 wides in the full game. There's a fantastic scoring rate from Killeavey.
Well, there we have it. So we're looking down here and we're seeing Killeavey marching towards the intermediate final. We're not sure how the other game went between St Peter's and Wolf Tones earlier on this evening. If we hear that one, we'll let you know. The ball comes out. The referee says that's a free. Mullaghbawn need to be getting the ball in towards. The leg comes into Bennett. Bennett's going forward with the ball. Looks up. He's going to be hitting this one. And he hits this one and he fires it over the bar, Eddie. That's a good score.
Over the bar, yeah, definitely so. But Mullaghbawn really need to be going for the goal here in the last 6 minutes. They're already, they're far too far behind to be just trying to tag on points. They really need to be going to it.
No question about it. So we're looking around here and we want to see how the game pans out. So Mullaghbawn are definitely behind 111 to 315. So I would say now it'll not be long till we hear end of match Stuart's possession, and that's a very scary thing when you're a footballer and you're down a couple of points, but when you're down a fair bit it probably doesn't really matter. Ball's broken down. Mullaghbawn on the attack. The ball pushed away on the far side. Looks round. Where's the support? McVerry's looking for this one. The ball comes in along the top of the grass end. Pushed out to the far side. Ball spins out. That was like a rugby match. And the Mullaghbawn man was pushed over the line. So that's a 13-metre free right on the sideline for Mullaghbawn. Mullaghbawn want to be putting this one in. So Jimmy is calling it. Push it back. He can't take a quick free inside the 13-metre line. So Mullaghbawn have to go right to the corner there, as we see on the 13-metre line, going to be putting this one in about the house, hoping for the ball to drop down and somebody to come in and get it in the back of the net. The ball's up in the air, it's dropping down and spills out. The umpire says that's a wide, and that's the only thing that Mullaghbawn can do at this stage.
Yeah, they have to put it in there, but I actually think this is it's going to be a wee bit pointless because you have James Donnelly in there, one of the best set of hands in Armagh football. Here we have Kieran O'Hanlon's brother, Darren O'Hanlon, on. So we have 2 O'Hanlons now in the field. I think big James Duffy has come off, having a fantastic game. He's replaced by Darren O'Hanlon. Killeavey should really be pushing on from here.
No question about that.
It'd be lovely to actually see James Duffy finish off his career. He might have a couple of years left, but with an intermediate medal. Nobody deserves it more in Killeavey than Big James.
No question about that. And we look down to see how many minutes gone. 25 minutes left here in the game. So don't forget, keep your comments coming in here. Pats beat Cooley this evening. There we go. That's a good result. Pats beat Cooley in the championship in Louth.
Yeah, Pat's one of my favourite teams there in Louth, and hopefully they'll push on.
So Killeavey's on the attack. Ball, well, there's 2 or 3 Killeavey men standing from the halfway line, pushing the ball in. The ball's coming in, and somebody says Eddie's using the word fantastic too much. I'm using the word pushing too much, but this time the ball is kicked left-footed, and that's another wide for Killeavey.
Well, some of the things we've seen here today, fantastic is the only word you could use to describe them.
Well, there we have it, Killeavey. We're cruising towards the intermediate final this afternoon or this evening here down in Morgan Athletic Grounds, and of course we have to thank our county board for letting us come in here this evening to do this. We're bringing the game all around the world, from Timbuktu to Tullysarn. We have the games going around the world. The ball goes out. Mullaghbawn need to be getting a goal here. As we look down, Eddie English comes out. The ball comes spinning down. An opportunity for Mullaghbawn. Eddie's calling for the ball inside. The ball comes inside. Ball spills out, but out comes 2 or 3, but it's picked up. The referee says a little bit of a push there, and Jimmy got that one spot on the button there, so it's a free out for Killeavey. And we're looking down and we're seeing 27 minutes gone, 3 minutes left, and of course on the 22nd of September there's a big date here in the athletic grounds. If anybody has any memorabilia from any of their football, from old programmes to jerseys to anything at all, bring it to the athletic grounds on the 22nd of September here and show it to all the world. There's going to be a big night here starting at 9:30 on the 22nd of September down in the athletic grounds here in the Canaris. A great night, Eddie. That's anybody has it. They've got medals, if they've got cups, if they've got old jerseys, programmes, anything like that, bring them down to the athletic grounds on the night and show it to the public. It's a great idea. I think it's probably the first time in the history of Armagh GA that something like that has ever been attempted, so it'll be a great, I think it's called Armagh Abilia, so it's going to be a great evening.
Yeah, definitely. So it's particularly maybe for the younger supporters about, just to see a wee bit of history about Armagh over the years.
The ball comes out underneath us here. The referee says that play on. A couple of big hits coming down below us. Mullaghbawn trying to get a hold of the ball, but the Killeavey come out. Well, there's a big hit. That's a super hit there, but the referee has indicated that that's a free. He didn't get him shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, I thought that was slightly frontal there as well, but I don't know if there was much malice in it.
Well, the ball spills out. This time it's a free in, and Mullaghbawn on a scoreline of 111, and 111 is not a bad score to be scoring in the championship. But Killeavey are sitting on 315. Stevie McDonald comes down and he tells his centre half back, "You're doing dead on there, James. You're okay. Set back into and block out anything coming down from Mullaghbawn."
What's maybe slightly concerning from a Killeavey point of view is that we have actually lost the second half so far by 2 points. But maybe with such a large winning margin at half time, it was always going to be the case that we would take the foot off the pedal.
Well, there's no question about that. Well, we look round here and we see Killeavey. Well, Killeavey 315, Mullaghbawn 111. Mullaghbawn trying to get a goal. They're trying very hard to get a goal here. They need to get a goal right at the end. The ball comes inside, way over on the far side. Ball's going to be launched in about the house. McVerry's calling for it, but it doesn't come in. It comes in over the top. This time, Bennett looks up, gives the ball inside, but that's a poor enough pass. Out comes the Mullaghbawn. Well, Mullaghbawn defend that one, but Mullaghbawn say that's a free, or the referee says that's a free, and he says take the ball back. So Stevie McDonald is back on his own 45-metre line. There's the Killeavey man down injured. Out goes the physios. Eddie, we're rattling down towards the end of the half here. 29 minutes and 30 seconds gone. So Eddie, it looks as if Killeavey will be marching towards another county final.
There's no doubt about it. And at the start of the year, like, Killeavey was maybe hotly tipped to be in the intermediate final. And as I said earlier on, to finish the year contesting minor and intermediate finals is absolutely fantastic from a Killeavey point of view.
Oh, what a goal! What a goal!
That is definitely reminiscent of Stevie McDonald's goal in the first half. It's still far too little too late for Mullaghbawn, but an absolute fantastic goal.
That was a super strike over on the far side. It took everybody by surprise.
It's actually a good job this has actually been shown live on the internet, because this is 2 goals that everybody in the country would want to see. You won't see 2 better goals in a football match as Stephen McDonald's and that goal there.
I'm not even sure who scored that goal there, but we're going to find out.
It went in that fast, nobody actually knows who scored it.
Well, we can watch it back on Destination Area on Monday. Then we'll definitely know. The ball is spilled out. Mullaghbawn on the attack. They're going to go for another goal here. I would love to see them get another ball in the back of the net. And the opportunity goes on the far side. Mullaghbawn trying to get a goal. The ball comes in over the top. Spills out. 1, 2, 3 men.
Raymond Taggart has it.
Taggart comes out, the ball comes in over the top, but the ball has been given away. The referee says you held his arm, so Mullaghbawn, ball comes in. Big Michael Murphy from Killeavey. He goes left footed up the field, bounces the ball, solos the ball. Michael Murphy's going to go for a score here. Is he going to go for the goal? No, he's going to put it up, and he puts it in the keeper's hands.
Another one falling short.
That's 5 or 6 Killeavey. 6, 5 fell short into the keeper's hands. Jared McCreesh from Mullaghbawn, young Jared, of course he got the goal, a super goal. Mullaghbawn on the attack here. Can Mullaghbawn get another goal? They're going to go for it. To go one way, he goes the long way. Well, he's been pulled to the ground.
Yeah, Gordy's probably going to get booked for this here. But Michael Murphy made a fantastic run there, and I think the amount of run he's done, he was just out of steam, and that fell short into the keeper's hand.
But Eddie, it's the old saying, better wide or better over the bar in the keeper's hands, because it sets up the attack.
It sets up the attack, but I think Murphy was just completely and utterly out of steam. He's done that much run today. He's definitely been one of Killeavey's best performances.
And of course, he's
nobody's going to hold that
against him. He's only a
minor
minor this year, but the ball's up in the air and it's over the bar. Somebody thought
I thought it was in the net.
Stephen thought it was in the net as well, but it went just over the top of the bar. So Mullaghbawn definitely playing well in the second half. 2-12 to 3-15, a cracking game of football. 5 goals and 27 points here this afternoon on Destination Uri. Of course, you get all the excitement on Destination Uri. Live Gaelic games round the world, round the country, coast to coast, pole to pole, satellite to satellite, Timbuktu to Tullysarn. The ball's dropping down. A little bit of a push there. Out comes the man that came in wearing number 17, Raymond Taggart, using all his experience, but Stevie McDonald comes out and Stevie puts it long. Clemans down on his own.
Burns, the half-back line, up in the 50 at this late stage in the game.
So Killeavey, an opportunity, but the Mullaghbawn men swept that one up, and Jimmy McGee has
It's all over.
It's all over on a final scoreline of 3-15 to 2-12 to Mullaghbawn.
Yeah, great result there for Killeavey, and it's going to be very interesting. Like, we have a few guys out here, O'Hanlon, O'Neill, young thing. We're going to have Murphy in that, playing 2 county finals in 1 year. That's a fantastic achievement for those young guys.
And of course, Eddie, you mustn't forget, them lads have already played in an Ulster final and an All-Ireland final.
It's absolutely amazing. At the start of the year, probably they couldn't have dreamed of playing 4 finals in 1 year.
Okay, St. Peter's,
but they deserve it.
St. Peter's and Wolf Tones, that game was a draw, 1-11 each. So whoever's Sean, well, thanks a million, Sean, for sending us that one in. And of course, the Armagh GA page. Other semi-finalists, St. Peter's 1-11, Wolf Tones here first on Destination Uri. The other game was a draw. St. Peter's, well, everybody was tipping St. Peter's, but fair play to Wolf Tones, a draw. The other semi-final ended up a draw, so that game will be replayed. I'm not sure when. And I have to say to Shane Garvey, he says thanks for the coverage, guys. Not a great game, but hopefully Crupps do it tomorrow. Have to go now and meet Bolt for a red strip up the Crupps. Mickey O'Neill gives us the hands up here. Of course, Shane Garvey, he's heading towards the Usain Bolt's pub in Kingston, Jamaica, as we speak.
Yeah, it's just that, like, if you're not in the athletic grounds, Jamaica is definitely the place to be. I would have no doubt been there. And maybe if you can actually watch the game live over there, it is the place to be.
So
but it's very interesting that other match ended in a draw. Tones is definitely not a bad team. I fancied Peters myself, but that's definitely one that the Killeavey guys will be going down to watch, I'm sure.
And of course, we have to say hello to Raymond O'Kiernan. And we look down and we see the Killeavey boys. Well, this is something I haven't seen before.
Yeah, I have never seen it before. It's actually, they all congratulate themselves. It's a wee bit rugby style. It's an absolutely fantastic thing to see.
Well,
it's
as we look out there,
very, very peculiar.
I've never seen this before in a Gaelic match. And we look out and we see the Killeavey boys walking up, shaking hands with each other. Definitely a new venture in Gaelic games here in the athletic grounds. I have never seen that before, Eddie. I don't know what it's about, but it's it's definitely a very unique thing to be done.
It definitely is, and it actually is great to see all the guys congratulate themselves. They don't seem to have got overly carried away, jumping around. Nice handshake from everybody, and coming in now as county finalists.
No question about it. And the other game, St. Peter's and Wolf Tones, ended up a draw, 1-11 apiece. Well, it must have been a cracking game, no question about it. So I have to say yes to Raymond O'Kiernan, the Armagh Piero, really enjoying the local insight. There's no question about that. Raymond, it is definitely a new venture, it's definitely a new angle, and it's definitely getting a huge response around the world. Great response around the world here in the athletic grounds.
Yeah, we have MD and big Stephen McDonald there hugging each other in the middle of the field. Like, that's the guy who trains the Monaghan minors there over at Killeavey, helping train Killeavey this year, along with Gary Thornton. Gary Thornton has to be happy First year in Killeavey, doing the job on a voluntary basis like a lot of GAA guys, and down there, fantastic result for Gary and all the guys. And it's nice to see Paul Waters there. Paul Waters got a bad injury there at the end of last year, had to give up, and he must be as delighted as anybody.
And of course, there's no question about that. We have to thank Danny and Paul, our cameraman, Dara, of course, for all the tactical backup. And of course, we have to thank the Armagh County Board for letting us be part of this, because it's definitely something to be cherished, Eddie. It's definitely a whole new angle for Gaelic games live on a Saturday night.
It definitely is, and they're all happy. And I've got a text in there for Neil Smith. He thinks I'm laughing something off here, but it's not. It was a great game, great sporting game. It was fairly interesting there in the last 10 minutes when Mullaghbawn started to push on, you know.
And of course, Mullaghbawn won the second half. No question about that, Eddie.
No question about it, but I really think it was a case of the game was over at half time and Killeavey was just maybe went into a different thing and defended. So the defended 12-point lead should be relatively easy for any team.
Well, there's no doubt. And of course, the other game ended up a draw, 1-11 apiece. So, well, what can we say, Eddie? You know, the 3 goals Killeavey got in the first half definitely was a factor.
The game was really all over as a contest after 15-20 minutes. Murphy, fantastic strike from Murphy for the 3rd goal, and that really put the nail in the Mullaghbawn coffin from then on in. You know, they obviously were got a bit of a sickener at that stage. They dominated for the next 30 minutes, in all honesty, but Killeavey just pulled away again, you know.
And of course, the Mullaghbawn goal scored by Crawley, McCreesh, a super strike.
It definitely is. That was one of the, you know, you have 2 of the best games. One of the best goals ever was Stevie's first one, and then McCreesh done something very, very similar, slightly lower shot at the end of the second half. And if you can actually view those goals again, they're definitely well worth watching. It'll be a long time since we see 2 goals in one match of the same quality again.
And of course, you will be able to watch them goals again on Destination Uri when they go up on Monday to see the game again. So definitely worth tuning in to watch them games. We have to thank everybody for watching all around the world. We had them from Australia to Timbuktu and all around the world this evening. Sure, it's great, Eddie. And
it definitely is, but I'm wondering who's in Timbuktu. I've never heard of anybody going to it, but somebody's bound to be there, Damien.
Well, Eddie, do you know what country Timbuktu is in?
I think Timbuktu's it is done away, but now I don't think there's any country called Timbuktu anymore. Was his name not changed?
It's a city.
Was his name not changed a while back? Was his name not changed a while back?
You there, Eddie. It's a city. Timbuktu is a city, and it's in Africa. So, Eddie, the next time you're on Destination,
Africa's a big place.
Go to your geography class and check that one out.
I think we should check it out, Damon. I think you're spoofing me.
No, I'm 100% right. And of course, we had Eddie. We had great scores. And I'll tell you what I really enjoyed about tonight: the young footballers, both of Killeavey and Mullaghbawn, stood up tonight, and Sean.
Without a doubt, yeah. If you've seen the young fellas on there, even young McVerry from Mullaghbawn, if he had been on from the start, it definitely would have started. But to be honest, I think Trainer was the best player out there. Only young lad, 19-20, closely followed by O'Hanlon. Murphy gave an exhibition at midfield. Fantastic player. McVerry would have caused problems, as I said. You know, and to have young players like that coming through can only do the whole county of Armagh good.
Well, there's no question about it. I suppose the future of Armagh football was definitely on the field tonight with some of them young players. So we say,
yeah, we should have a good future there. You know, this is an Armagh minor team won a All-Ireland title there a couple of years ago. This here, a few guys, O'Hanlon, Murphy and that, they can only add to that. I think McVerry from Mullaghbawn is an absolute fantastic player. Unfortunately get injured in the Armagh's campaign, unfortunately get injured for Mullaghbawn's campaign, and we have to be looking forward to next year as a county.
And of course, David Kelly, well done, Destination Area, and the 2 boys who commentated on the game. Of course, I'm Damien, this is Eddie, Davey, so great to have you on board. And of course, tomorrow, Eddie, the big game tomorrow, Carrickcruppen versus Sarsfields, live on Destination Area, 4:15.
Yeah, I haven't seen Cruppen now this year. I've heard a few things about them, seen Sarsfields in action. Sarsfields, very, very good team. Very interesting, you know. Both teams will fancy their chances going through, but really, in all intents and purposes, I think that's in the bag for Crossmaglen already at this early stage.
Well, I would say, Eddie, from a point of view that's involved in the match tomorrow, definitely Carrickcruppen or Sarsfields will not be worrying too much about Crossmaglen at this stage. Whoever wins tomorrow will have a good hour to think about Crossmaglen. And of course, Eddie, if you go into the games again, Crossmaglen, thinking that you're going to get beat, well, there's no point going. So the bottom line is, they don't have to worry about that yet. Tomorrow, Crossmaglen don't have to be worrying about Carrickcruppen. I'm sure Tony and the boys will be here. But tomorrow, Carrickcruppen plays Sarsfields, and if we get half as good a game as we got last week, it'll be a cracker.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that I might head to tomorrow. If I don't head for it, I'll watch it on Destination Uri. But fantastic, you know. they have to be playing. If you want to win a title, you want to be playing Crossmaglen, you want to be beating Crossmaglen, and for a team like Cruppen or Sarsfields to even be competing with them in the semi-final of the championship has to be a good bonus for them.
Well, there, Ali Crummy says, great to get the game online, lads. Keep the great coverage up. This Killeavey team is on a mission. Well, the Blues brothers won a mission and they succeeded, and of course Killeavey's on a mission, and they're about, well, they're in the final. They either play Wolf Tones or St Peters. That game ended up a draw, 1-11 apiece.
Yeah, I think Wolf Tone or St Peters would be just looking at this Killeavey team and maybe find they're going to be a wee bit harder to beat, or harder than the teams have come across. Pity Ollie wasn't playing. I played with Ollie a year or two younger than me, but Ollie was actually a fantastic footballer in his own day. Went to America at that stage, 20 years ago maybe at this stage. Fantastic footballer, but it's nice to see those guys still taking an interest in Killeavey football.
Well, we have to say well done to Killeavey this evening on a scoreline of 3-15 to 2-12, five goals and 27 points.
5 goals, 27 points, and I think maybe, and then that we maybe had about 10 wides. Now, from Killeavey's point of view, to actually hit, 18, 19 scores from 21 attempts, that's a fantastic return. You won't get a return like that of any other game this year.
So we have to say here, as the boys are gathering up here and everybody's leaving the athletic grounds, well done to Killeavey. And of course, don't forget the match, 3:45 from the athletic grounds here tomorrow, where of course Killeavey take on the mighty men from the High Moss, and the replay of the other quarter-final of the senior championship.
Yeah, like Stevenson definitely for Sarsfields is the key man. I think he came on maybe and scored a goal or something for Sarsfields at the end of it. Fantastic. Another guy with an All-Ireland medal in his pocket through St Coleman's. Fantastic footballer. And if Cruppen can actually mark the Stevensons tomorrow, they have a decent chance of going through.
Well, there we have it. We've all to do. Well, we can't say who's going to win tomorrow because we don't know, but there's one thing for sure. You get it on Destination Uri, and we have to thank Destination Uri and, of course, Design Works Ireland for allowing us to be here this evening. Thanks to Dara and Paul and Danny, of course, for helping us out here this evening, and Eddie coming in to help me out here. And Paul saying it's time to go home, lads. There's no doubt. There's not a sinner left in the athletic grounds, bar ourselves, Eddie.
No, and the lights will be going out shortly, and it's probably one of the few times I've never swore during a football match, and I think it should maybe be in the commentary box for my own sanity a wee bit more often.
Well, there's no doubt about it, Eddie, because you sort of look at a game from a totally different angle.
You do, yeah. Like, I've actually watched a lot of games as a neutral, and I find them absolutely fantastic. They're actually more enjoyable as a neutral, but today I still had my Killeavey hat on, but tried to be a wee bit more calm about the whole thing.
I think you've been very calm. Eddie, it's been a pleasure having you here with us tonight on
Thanks a million,
Destination Uri, and of course your friends around the world seeing that. So Eddie, again, great to be part of Destination Uri's local coverage of Gaelic games worldwide.
Thanks a million, Damien, and the lights have gone out here, so I think that's the end of us for today, is it?
That's the end of us for today. So until tomorrow, 3:45, James Doyle will be with me tomorrow in the Killeavey match, not to be missed, and of course the Sunday sports show between 7 and 8, and of course then next Sunday, the All-Ireland final, we have some of the Armagh girls coming into the studio, and then we have a huge surprise for everyone on the 30th of September. We have a huge guest coming to the Sunday sports show on Destination Uri on the 30th of September. We'll not tell you who it is, but I can tell you one thing, it's not to be missed.
Just on that, I know the Armagh ladies have been around a few schools this year, and it's nice to see them doing that, and hopefully the schools will give them the full support, and nice to see the young girls and all getting around there.
No question about it. And of course, just before we go, we'll maybe just show you, if you get a little look at this here from the camera, be part of the action. It's not a super photograph from the Armagh ladies heading towards the intermediate championship final in Croke Park on the 7th of October. So on that final, we'll say good luck to Armagh ladies. Well done to the Armagh girls for getting there. Well done to Killeavey tonight. And thanks to Eddie, and thanks to Paul and Danny and Dara for this production here tonight in the athletic grounds. Until tomorrow at 3:30, back in the athletic grounds. Don't forget to tune in to destinationuri.com for all your local sport.